Hold on. Degree says in chat, Rereplay knows he needs Scrappy this weekend to make regionals. Wow. All right. You just gonna take that Rereplay? Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another episode of Don't Talk If You Don't Know, the unofficial, official podcast dedicated to all things high-level teamfight tactics in North America and Europe, Middle East, and Africa. We're truly going global this year. They just finished their second episode, and this is our second episode before the second cup. Actually, our third episode. We did the reviewed with Kid Abe, our second preview episode. And what an episode it is, because for the first time for a preview show, we got Tleyds and Rereplay joining us. But before we do that, also welcome my co-host Bryce. Welcome back from the episode.
Let's do it. It's gonna be good.
Yep, that's right. That's right. So let's go ahead and catch up with Tleyds, who I think we had fairly recent on. You were on a set 9, right? For like a recap episode of the tournament.
Yeah, I think me and Rereplay were on mid-set.
Oh, you both were on the mid-sets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
The mid-set, it was the recap. Mid-set finale
That's
recap.
right. But this time on the preview,
I missed that episode.
So you get the fantasy draft this time. We're looking forward to it. I feel like I always see you in chat, kind of like memeing about picks and whatnot, so you get to throw your hat into the ring.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited.
Wait, out of curiosity, do you draft on the side? Do you guys do anything? Like...
No, so I'm in a JD Cord, and we saw that the lab was doing like their own fantasy draft, and they like posted on Twitter. So I think we're definitely gonna do that probably like either tomorrow or after the show, because it looks fun.
We started a trend. Fun backstory, by the way. Once upon a time, Bryce and I were talking with, I think they're kind of closed down now, but they were like Ball Street. They were like a fantasy app that was trying to get into TFT. And Bryce and I thought about whether or not we wanted to create our own official like fantasy TFT game on that app. And so I'm gonna throw it out there. Look, listen,
you should do it.
There's a bunch of random people that love like that fantasy sports betting stuff. And while I'm not necessarily a fan of how much it's taking over mainstream advertisement at this point, if you guys want to hook up with me and Bryce and create some fantasy TFT, I think we can make that happen. There's a lot of people that love doing it.
So people don't realize, I think a lot of people weren't here for the origin. Like, do you guys know how fantasy and TFT started? No. Is this an interesting story, or are you guys not?
It might be. If you can keep it brief, I guess.
I'll keep it brief-ish. I mean, Dan, do you remember it was on it was Teamfight Talk Show was the show?
Yeah, it was the podcast that I did before.
And you did it with Doa. Doa was the co-host, and Doa had to miss a week, and so you had me guest host, and it just so happened to be the regionals episode, and it was Soju and
was it like Milk or something like that?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who the other person was. But anyway, he got to the end, and he was shit talking like my perspective on the players, and so I just challenged him to a fantasy draft on the spot. And then we tried to bet a bunch of money on it, but then Riot turned it down, which was like, don't do that. Was correct. Which was correct for sure. We got ahead of ourselves. I got too excited. Never should have tried to bet about this for real. But anyway, I obviously destroyed him. My team completely wiped the floor with him. I had Robin set the regionals record for final day in points.
Oh, that was set 5.
You could take Robin off my team, and I still outscored Soju in that. My guys went like first, third, fourth, like seventh. It's something like Soju only had one person make day 2. I think it was Milk. I think he also made day 2. Actually, I think he had 2 people. And then eventually we started doing it on our thing, and then we did Snake like once, and then I was like, damn, we should just do auction. It's better, and we never looked back. It's way better.
The fun side note to that story is I thought Bryce for a long time said option, because I never actually did an auction draft. I kept calling it an option draft, like a select option thing. Okay, last question to Tleyds, and then we can talk to Rereplay. Why does everyone keep spamming Mormon mode whenever you're in chat?
I don't know. That's a question for the people spamming it. It's usually Philip. Okay. It's Philip. It's the one who starts spamming it.
All right. Well, I like it. It's an inside joke, and for people wondering, you're probably not seeing this in the VOD, but it is a funny emote on 7TV, and yes, that is Tleyds. Rereplay. Welcome back to the show. How's life been since our last time we've had you on the show a few months ago?
It's been good. I mean, it's been pretty solid. Non-TFT wise, at least. Yeah.
How have you felt about your TFT?
I feel like I was good, but not good in tourneys.
Okay.
Why do you think that is?
Oh, we're getting into it. I think it's a 3-day div for the tourneys. I feel like most of the tourneys I play are like on the same patch.
On 3-day patches?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the recent ones? Yeah.
Okay. So you feel like you just more thrive when you have like a lot of time to figure things out and like being able to understand the meta more. So that means going into this weekend for Heartsteel Cup, you don't feel confident to get another 3-day patch.
Oh, I think this 3-day patch is kind of different because I think the patch was actually kind of. I think a lot of like what was good last patch is good this patch. Maybe there's a few parts that are a little bit better, but they're not like big differences.
I see.
So it doesn't feel like a 3-day patch, at least for this.
Yeah, they're more in tweaking mode than they are in like radically overhauling everything.
It's more like, can you add some of the slightly new stuff and add it meaningfully without disrupting your gameplay? I wanted to get to know a little bit more about your relationship with Tleyds. Wow, this sounds very like I'm in a corner.
Yeah,
but
a dating show.
Or a dating show. So a few months ago when you guys appeared on, I think that was still in the early days of your emerging love. Now you two are kind of the cornerstones of your group, right? You guys like VOD review together and you guys are practice partners. And it feels like you guys have like people kind of go in and out, right? DPay, we're not entirely sure where he is. And Ripple, is he even practicing? And so you've had some people, but it seems like you two are the cornerstone of your group. Can you talk a little bit about that group? Like who's part of this like study cohort? And like, just describe some of these members, because I feel like these days it's kind of hard to tell who's part of like the Rereplay and Tleyds ship.
Oh, I personally think the cornerstone of our group is probably Ripple and DPay personally. Like I don't know if
you think they're more active and engaged in you.
I don't know if we have like a cornerstone or anything like that. We're more so like I kind of like. They've already kind of late, kind of flake every now and then. This Tleyds guys is like working in the lab, but like, I don't know. Actually, Tleyds, take it away from here. Sorry.
Oh, I mean, like you would probably say we're the cornerstones just because Ripple took a set off, and then like when Ripple took a set off, they added me, and so it was like me Rereplay DPay, and then DPay is taking this set off. And so we and Ripple came back, so we just added him, and then we added 2 more people to the group because me and Rereplay thought for a little bit it was just gonna be like us 2. We were like, well, we can't just study with us 2 because then we'll just argue and we won't know what's right.
Yeah, so, you need at least a third person.
Icebreaker. You basically need a 2v1 vote system.
Yeah. And then so we added Degree and Cambuli.
Okay. How did you decide on Degree and Cambuli?
We like VOD reviewed with them. What's it said now? I feel like we VOD reviewed for them a little bit in set 9, like after scrims or something, just because like we didn't have anyone else to VOD review with, and they were like pretty high on ladder. And I think maybe Rereplay invited them, and so we just VOD reviewed with them. And then
I don't remember like which cups exactly, but I think like on like the later days of some cups, we've like reviewed them.
Yeah.
Okay. So wait, this is when you're still in cups after a day. So like on the evening of day 3, you'll all get on and you'll watch like people who did well on day 3, basically.
Yeah. Okay. I think we mostly VOD our own games, but yeah, same idea. Like, it's the same day, same night.
All right. Well, I have a fun little story to throw into this before we transition to the actual show pieces with like news and rankings and stuff, which is before the sets. I didn't know what was going on with any study groups anymore because I think everyone was kind of like fracturing and restarting, right? Like as you guys, I think the most famous example is Dishso remade his group, right, completely and started over with different people. And so I messaged Tleyds and I was like, hey, like, I would love to like see what's going on and maybe like, either like sit in or even not necessarily like join the group as an official member because I'm not a competitor or anything like that, but like, like hang out and kind of talk about TFT. And he's like, oh yeah, let me like bounce some ideas off the other guys and get back to you. And that was like 3 months ago. He actually just ghosted me and didn't respond.
Dude, nice. Do not try to frame me. I messaged you back.
Wait, oh shit! What did you say?
Yeah.
Pull up the receipts.
Wait, hold on.
You gotta screenshot the receipts. Put it in there.
Let me see. Oh shit! I forgot to respond. Are you competing this set or doing co-stream?
Hey, see, that's a response.
All right. Actually, I think it's because like in the end, like I was not a serious competitor, whatnot. So I totally get it. And also, these guys take it very seriously, right? Some people. Oh, go ahead.
Like
you got hit by the Uno reverse. Sorry.
I just asked for your replay, and we didn't know what we were doing at all. So I couldn't give like a definitive answer for a while.
And I totally get it. If anything, I like the approach that y'all have because I think some groups are getting like too loose, right? They're like having members flow between like 2-3 groups. No one knows what they can share anymore because it might transfer to almost the entire other half of the field. And so I totally understood and respected that. I thought that was a little funny thing because I was like, wait, did he actually even get back to me? And then I guess he did. So it is funny that my memory was, oh shit, I forgot to respond to that. And then that was where my memory ended. All right.
On a related note, for like the group being too loose, I think I was trying to join Pocky's group because we were just chatting. And then I joined their Discord, and like 20 minutes later, they just kicked me out.
Oh my god!
Not all groups are getting loose. I'm saying.
Wow. I mean, I think I think now the meta is shifting the other way. Now everyone's trying to figure out like who are the rats, who are the snakes.
Who's in Pocky's group?
A rat. Yeah, who's in Pocky's group?
I don't remember.
Goobums, Asa, Saint Vicious, and a couple of other people. But like Goobums is like the true polyamorous study group member.
Yes.
He's part of 4 groups, and he just steals it all for himself. He's
by far the biggest tech thief on the server.
He's straight up Kakashi, man. He just tries to copy everyone's ninjutsu and steal it for himself.
And he would be so offended if you heard us saying this, and it's so true.
All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through the news for our first segment of the show. We always like to go about like news and recap. So the first thing is patch 14.3. We don't have to go too much into it, but there was a little bit of controversy about 14.3 not touching enough units, right? Soju put out a tweet complaining a little bit about not enough changes to things like Heartsteel. Urgot didn't get nerfed. Olaf 2 still like free 100 streak for like 5 to 10 rounds. What do you guys think about the patch? We've heard the players complain about it a little bit. I want to hear what you guys' first reaction to it. So Tleyds, what do you think?
Oh, I think Soju's tweet is like completely right in all aspects. I think he hit it on the nail. I think Heartsteel stage 4 needed to get touched, and Urgot stage 2, stage 3 needed to get touched. What else? And I think Zed maybe needed a minor nerf, but I actually don't know how much I think about that. Like if I don't have that much of a strong opinion, but basically I think Soju got it like completely right. And I think especially Heartsteel playing this patch with Heartsteel being as strong as it is kind of frustrating.
Okay. I'm going to bring up Soju's tweet right here on top. He said, quote, HS line still broken. That's why I screenshot. I figured it's worth bringing up. Seraphine Riven reroll slightly stronger with Twin Terror and Executioners. Scrappy Inventions didn't even get bug fixed. Heartsteel Cup played on this quote patch and quote LMFAO exclamation point. Also, hold the F up. Wait 1 second. How did Urgot not get nerfed with 17 question marks afterwards? Rereplay, your comments.
I agree that they didn't like fix enough in the patch, but at the same time, it's 3 days before a tournament. I like less changes more than more, so I don't even mind Heartsteel being broken.
Okay,
because
fair enough.
I've been used to playing Heartsteel. Cheers.
Bryce, what do you think about the patch? You're actually one of the biggest Set 10 stands left right now. Like I feel like in general you like always talk about how much you love it and you think it's really fun and whatnot. Because I think it's still fresh for you. You're not playing like 20 games a day, not even close. So where are you?
I mean, the only TFT I played on the patch I ran down really hard, but I shouldn't have been playing. I just hadn't played TFT for a while, and it felt like playing. So I committed to a bunch of reroll comps in stage 2 for fun, and then I didn't. And I went 8. Fuck.
It's all good.
But I mean, I think he's right. I think he's right about the conclusions, but I think he's wrong. I think he's wrong in tone, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
this patch isn't that bad. It is right before a tournament. I think going a little bit conservative right before a tournament. They attempted to hit Heartsteel and they didn't hit it enough, and they hit enough other things without actually reducing the power of Heartsteel that it's like the board is too strong. Like Heartsteel gets to play around Poppy chosen as strongest chosen in the game. It gets to play around Zed chosen as the second strongest chosen in the game. Like Ezreal chosen is pretty strong. It's just not actually that strong for the line because the other ones are even better. It caps around the legendaries too well. It's just it's too good of a board for also having the economic trait. That's the problem.
Yeah, and like, all because of the nerfs to the other things, Heartsteel gets stronger. So in some ways, like the average placement, I think got slightly better, and the win rate's just it's basically the same. So if anything, you can argue it's a slight Heartsteel buff.
But there's tons of stuff that does well. There's reroll at 3 cost, reroll at 2 cost, a little bit at 1 cost, although not really, right? Like most of the rerolls happening at 2 and 3 cost. Like legendaries are a decent spot. Lots of lines are viable. Like TF is still kind of a meme. They probably should hit it a little bit harder. Like, yeah, the patch isn't perfect, but like, okay, like what patch TFT is perfect? Like,
Yeah, most
it feels
things are
like
playable.
I guess what I'm saying is it feels like a weird patch to choose to go to Twitter and type something like this out. I would have done it more on previous patches than on this one, probably.
I will say one thing. The Scrappy Inventions bug not getting fixed is
That was a mistake.
some pretty big egg on the face moment, especially because Mort was like going out of his way to be like, hey, by the way, one thing that's not on the patch notes is we fixed this bug. And we're like, okay, great. Looked at it, exact same average placement as last patch. You're like, okay, nothing changed at all. This bug is still working.
Yeah, for sure. But that was a mistake, right? It was an accident. They weren't like trying
obviously
to do that.
I'm just saying like that's like one of those moments where it feels bad. And now there's a bunch of questions about whether or not Scrap Inventions could be banned. And now China, for example, is like begging for like you. If you think Soju is the loudest person in the room, I mean, it's probably because he is on Twitter, but like, China and like a lot of the regions are like, they really want a hotfix. They're like really bad. Like, please change something about the game. Not just Soju. If anything, Soju's taking one on the chin on behalf of everybody else, just saying what a lot of players don't necessarily want to say, although he's probably like what Bryce said, probably just presenting it in a tone that obviously is like, I mean, this is going to piss off Mort and Riot. If I were them, I'd probably be like pretty annoyed at it. But I don't think there's anything wrong with what he said, which I think ultimately what Soju cares about. That's all to say that I think ultimately the patch, I mean, it is what it is, and we'll see what ends up happening. And also, I think if it's the same as last patch, the sentiment was that last patch was skill expressive, right? Like, was it a fun and a stale patch? Maybe not. Or I'm sorry, it was stale. But the one thing that people kind of agreed upon is that it was skill expressive as long as you didn't play like an idiot. And so maybe we'll see the good players actually demonstrate what they're capable of if they get the opportunity to. Speaking of the tournaments, by the way, we got some more complaints. This is actually, there's a lot of complaints in the news section, by the way. Emily was officially lobbying complaints about the way Set 10 tournaments have been ran. People in chat, or people even here, have you had generally negative experiences competing this set? And I think most people would say, yeah. Like, I'm not sure, Bryce, if you've been able to kind of even experience it yourself, because I know you wanted to compete, but you didn't. But it's been slow. There's been a lot of delays. There's a lot of errors. Score sheets are wrong really often. They're sending wrong names to lobbies. Lobbies have to get remade. Tleyds, have you experienced some of this yourself as well, competing?
No, I haven't experienced any of this. I just saw like some of the Reddit threads that were posted about other players that had to deal with the issues, but a lot of this is, I actually didn't even know any of this happened last, or I guess day 1, day 2 of this cup.
Yeah, I think all the problems have been day 1 and day 2 for the most part, for last cup and this cup.
All right, so they've been mainly focused on the giant open portions of it. I do feel like I think it's okay to say, I actually had talked to Riot fairly recently to even voice my complaints privately, just be like, hey, look, we're a major region. This is kind of embarrassing. Like, people looked at North America to be like some of the premier content they should watch when you compare to TFT. And if we're out here struggling to run things on time or even get the right names into tournaments, a la the Box and the Wukong incident, it's just a bad look. And they're like, yep, we totally understand. Like, we talk, we're trying to fix it. Like, this is a transition time. It was sloppy. We dropped the ball, right? They got dizzy. Too many things transition-wise was hard. So they owned up to it. They didn't say like, no, it wasn't that big of a problem. They actually owned up to it. So hopefully everything's fixed in the future. Speaking of fixing things, we have another cool thing that happened, which is gold openers are no longer part of TFT in terms of stage 1 and 2 drops, which I think, I was going to do like an agree, but this is pretty much unanimous. Like, everyone loves it, right? Is there anybody that doesn't like this? Anybody that doesn't like this? Is there anybody that can even take, okay, Bryce, what's the devil's advocate for this? Was there any justification for this being in the game?
My honest take on that is that no, there was not. I think that the argument that Mort would make were he here is the argument that he made in the past on this topic for a lot, which is that he thought that for game-to-game variability, you needed a lot of things that were different, and this is one of the things they could choose that was different game-to-game. But I think that the arc of this over TFT is that he would say that we added other versions of RNG, and that's why you don't need this anymore. I would argue that this was always the worst possible version of like RNG and TFT. It feels fundamentally unfair in a way the RNG and a lot of other TFT doesn't. And that's like, there have been metas where certain augments have been really broken, and just like hit the really, really broken augments. It's like a huge advantage. But outside of that, I can't think of anything that's been like this, and this has been a part of the game forever. It used to be a lot worse than it's been, and it still felt pretty bad over the course of this set. So I don't think there was a reasonable basis for keeping this. I just think they were probably overly focused on other things, which is fair. Like, I get it. They've improved TFT in so many ways. It's hard for me to be mad about it, but this is an objectively good change. I don't think anyone who's serious about TFT would take the other side of that at this point.
Amazing. A round of applause.
Oh, wait. To play some devil's advocate, I'm pretty sure if you're only a big challenge at the top level of CST, that or the resource selection rate. Like the 99.9% of the player base, with this extra gold, they'll just like suck their thumb and do nothing with it. So,
but that's we're on the show. This show is specifically designed for only the people who care about this topic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they haven't changed it for so long.
When Dan and I built the concept for the show, we were like, hey, we just want to talk about TFT at the level of the people who are going to care about this.
The 0.001%.
This is the perfect proxy for our audience.
But as you know, the streamers have also made the problem the masses, because if you saw the reviewed episode, Setsuko's only comments post-tournament was, ha 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 ha, in all caps, gold openers. Malala, gold opener every game, me, 0 out of 12 gold openers. And that was his entire comment about his KDA Cup. Shout out to Malala in chat. On a more sobering piece of news, there's actually something else that also happened that's pretty unfortunate. Riot has experienced a massive wave of layoffs. And I feel like, one, it's worth acknowledging that this happened and it sucks. And also because someone that was pretty valuable to the TFT community actually got hit by this. Chad Smelts is a person that you may remembered who helped us organize the TFT Summit. He was actually one who was on Riot's behalf doing that send-off. You see Iniko, Hafu in the back, right? Chad was a really instrumental part of making sure that TFT esports was really taking off and hit its stride, and it ended strong on things like the TFT Vegas Open. And Chad tweeted that he was part of the layoffs, and he was honestly just confused, right? Because like he said, I was like, man, I thought I did a good job, and all of a sudden this came out of nowhere. So I'm just doing this because, one, we owe Chad, and people like him. He's one of many other people that are not front-facing and public-facing as he is, but we owe them a big amount of gratitude for what they've done for the scene. And also, if anybody's like hiring, these people are great. It's not like they did a bad job. They weren't pulling their weight. They're fantastic, and I hope they land on their feet.
Yeah, Chad's the man. I think TFT. I think I'll look back on however long my journey in TFT lasts. When I look back on it, I think that the summit will be one of my all-time high moments. I think it's really special for its encapsulation of like the first time all coming together post-COVID and like the early days, kind of like the glory days of TFT. And he's the person, along with Zane, the other person in his photograph, are the two people who are the most responsible, and he was the most responsible at Riot. He did a really good job, and he will be missed for sure.
Yeah. The good news is, Riot in that very same article said that they want to prioritize TFT as one of the 4 core games alongside League of Legends, Valorant, and Wild Rift. And they said, in these words, I'm just quoting them based on what I'm reading, we are prioritizing these teams so that they can focus on content features and updates that directly respond to what you've been asking for. And then expect events, modes, and long-term roadmaps that lead to vibrant and hopefully multi-decade futures for these games. And that should be exciting news if it wasn't announced alongside the wave of layoffs. But hey, man, TFT is here to stay. So Rereplay, you quit your lucrative Wall Street finance job to go into TFT. This at least got to make you excited to hear that.
Yeah, I'm glad we're not Legends of Terra.
I mean, they're not mentioned, and usually if they are mentioned, that is newsworthy. Rest in peace, Legends of Runeterra. No, it's actually really horrible what happened to their community, but I guess the silver lining is that they have decided to join a really great community. A lot of the lower players are actually trying to become TFT players now, and so I see a lot of them grinding it. So you better watch your backs, man. You never know. Maybe these Legends of Runeterra gamers are going to show us a thing or two, because they know what it's like to play for no money. So they're definitely not playing for all.
And yeah, I mean, look, don't listen to what a company says, listen to what a company does. And if you look at it, as sad as I am to lose Chad, and as much as that was an undeserved firing based on every piece of information that we have, the TFT team did not get hit overall. Yeah. TFT is a game that continues to experience massive growth for them. Dan was commenting on one of his streams. He brought up the data on how popular the set revival is. You guys, like, the set revival has like a third the play of live ranked, which is insane. That's so much play on just like a set revival type of event. TFT is in a really, really good growth place. And if you look at, out of curiosity, what would you guys guess if I said, hey, where do you think Soju falls over the course of the last 180 days on Twitch? All streamers, all languages.
Like total hours viewed? Probably like 1-2.
No. Not the TFT category. All
Not
of Twitch.
TFT category. All of
Oh,
Twitch.
I'm pretty sure it's like 1 or 2.
XQC, Jinxie,
Probably like
Hassan.
probably like top 10, like 8th or 9th, I would guess. I don't know.
Wow, top 10. Hold on.
These guys are high. That's a really
That's
high.
really
bar,
high.
guys.
It's
Wait,
really, really high.
doesn't it?
That's like where
I was thinking
Asmongold
a
is.
reveal of like this is really good, but maybe not. Dan, where did you think he is? Last
Probably like
time
top
you did.
25.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
He's 23rd,
Okay.
which is
Wait,
that's real. You guys for TFT,
That's really
is
good.
so
That's
fucking
really,
good. That is just-
really good.
you know the other channels that are up here. Guess where do you guys think Riot Games Twitch channel is in the last that period of time?
Like
I'm
Riot
confused.
Games
This
is
is like
they restream Worlds, Bryce. You gotta pick a better. We gotta pick a better
No, but-
benchmark than that.
No, but I'm saying, I mean, okay, fair enough. I mean, like, where do you guys think Tarek?
Yeah,
is?
where is he relative to is it Tarek? I only call him Tarek.
Tarek. Yeah, you're right.
Is he? He's probably around. Like he's probably actually a little higher because I think the volume that Soju puts in that'd be kind of sick though.
He's not. Tarek is 13th, but it's
Okay.
not that big of a gap. Anyway, we don't have to stay like this deep in the weeds of this stuff. But I'm just saying, like, there's really good growth indicators for TFT. It's a good time to be in TFT for sure.
Just a side note, this set, I've had a wave of people try to get into TFT because of the Vegas Open. They specifically are like, I saw the Vegas Open, I want to be part of that. Also because my scene isn't doing that, and I just think TFT is a good game, and Riot's clearly investing into it. It's a good time to be a TFT fan, contrary to what like the milk doubters would let you to believe, where they try to make you feel like it's all doom and gloom. Okay, we do have another piece of news, and this is before we go into what happened in Heartsteel Cup. I promise that we're going to talk about Heartsteel Cup, but hey, we're like the only TFT podcast, basically, so we have to talk about all the news.
You've covered a lot of ground.
This one is related to Heartsteel Cup adjacently through the qualification method of it. About a week and a change ago, Wage and Iverson posted a clip of Spencer forfeiting on purpose. Actually, let me go ahead and transition this.
Come on.
On ladder to grief another player while being in call with another player. So there's two things at play here. I made my thoughts on the video, but Spencer forfeited. He thought he was looking to see if he would queue into a player.
I'll save the lobby.
Let me go ahead and mute this because I have Spencer's audio in the back. My bad. He saw that he was queuing up against a raise the stakes Heartsteel player, decided to forfeit on the spot to grief Stellar Minhe's cash out, and then forced him to cash out right early. And then also was like laughing about throwing for content. He was doing this all in his Smurf. He was playing in call with somebody else in the game Galu Baby. And I kind of want to get some thoughts a little bit. I've already made an entire video about it, so I'm not going to chime in. Bryce, you start off here.
I don't think this was malicious. I don't think that Spencer really considered the implications of what he was doing when he did it. I don't think he would ever intentionally have affected someone's like qualification for a tournament. This was like bad judgment. It was stupid. Like it's not something you should do for content at a phase, especially at a phase when we're this close to ladder shots. Like ladder is more serious for limited windows, but when it is, everyone feels it. Everyone knows that it is. So it's not that hard to like especially try to avoid this type of window of time. I don't think he should be punished. I'm not aware of any rules that this was against, but I think that we should change the rules so that this type, if it's this egregious, we should never punish on the borderline on this stuff. But like if it's so clearly like he's not doing anything for his gameplay and it's very clearly affecting someone's qualification, then I think there should be some kind of repercussions for that.
Rereplay, what do you think?
Yeah, like I don't think he did it maliciously at all. But I think like it's like sets a bad standard if there's like not some sort of repercussion to like future snapshots. Then like you can kind of point towards this and be like, oh, I mean, it didn't like he didn't go into any like he didn't run into any trouble by doing this. So now I'm sitting on like 32. I might as well just snipe on my Smurf and like throw a game. You know what I mean?
To build on this, though, I would say that I think there's a middle ground between like punishing him. You can announce, like, well, I think Riot should say, hey, we're changing this rule. This is not something that should have been okay, but we have to put people on notice. It's unfair to punish someone retroactively for a rule that didn't exist. We're going to create a rule that says, like, you can't do this, right? And if someone else does it again in the future, like, there will be repercussions. We're just not going to punish Spencer in this instance. I think that's a pretty fair course that doesn't involve punishing him, I guess.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I agree.
Oh, go ahead, Replay.
Yeah, no, I agree completely with.
Okay.
I don't think it would be fair to like post.
To add one more thing, Tupe makes a good point in chat. He says, or they said, quote, if the competitive esports side of TFT is going to be directly tied into ladder, there needs to be consequences to protect in competitive integrity, or else change the qualification for the esports side to Tleyds. When you read that, what do you think?
Wait, sorry. When I read, let me just
When you
read it
hear,
in the chat.
so like the criticism of Spencer to like maybe warrant punishment or at least have consequences is that if the competitive esports side of TFT is going to be directly tied to ladder, we need to be either do something to protect it or change the qualification entirely. And you're a player that has, you know, grinded a lot through ladder and everything like that. So when you see this clip and you hear that as a response, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's a valid response. I think like if anyone is taking competitive ladder seriously for snapshots, like seeing this rubs them the wrong way. I don't necessarily know like how you could fix it, I guess, like because I feel like this opens up a lot of like questions regarding competitive integrity when it comes to ladder snapshots. Like people have posted it in like Discord and stuff about like active backseating and like I don't know. I mean, obviously account sharing is not allowed, but just stuff like that. Like I don't really know how you police it, but I do think it's something that should be considered to be like or be more considered, I guess.
That is something that I know at least I personally lobbied for, right? When I had the attention of the room, I said, you need to do something. At least tell players that by agreeing that if they do really bad acts like this, that's up for review, that you can actually punish. Because the thing is, a lot of them, it's not part of the player agreement, right? When we talk about like it's within their rights, like that's some of the things that like some of the words that's being thrown around, like I said that, for example, it's because you can't just like as a tournament organizer be like, well, I don't like the way you did that. I'm just going to go ahead and actively punish you if that's not something that's within their jurisdiction that they covered and they agreed to. So it's something that is like, I don't know if we can do something. It's more like are we even like technically allowed to? But should we do something about it? Yes, I think we should. I think we need to prevent this kind of stuff in the future because the precedent is bad. And then one other thing, just to feed a little more fuel to the fire, is that there was another incident we had of in tournament, a player by the name of Sphinx, a longtime vet of the scene, has competed for a long time, has actually also target griefed in the middle of a tournament. And by doing so, has now kind of incurred the wrath of a lot of people saying like, okay, griefing on ladder is one thing, but to intentionally target revenge grief for somebody cashing you out, because as you see, he lost his raise the stakes Heartsteel cash out, decide to fully pivot into Groxy's Executioner game. He cleared his own team builder. You're seeing it right now on screen. People feel like that was way over the line. And Tleyds, you're actually one of the biggest people kind of advocating that this guy needs to get punished. So why don't you speak from your perspective of what you saw here?
Oh, I mean, I watched this in real time because I was watching Groxy's game, like cheering him on to make day 2 of Heartsteel Cup, and watching his stage 2, it looked like really good from just like a watching perspective, and then like all of a sudden, just like in the glimpse, we kind of saw like Sphinx like pivoting into the comp with like a Heartsteel spat, which is like very weird, and so we just ended up like going to the Twitch channel and seeing that he like typed that he was going to actively grief Groxy, and it was not a good feeling to see that happen. I think like if that happened to be a tournament, I was actually impressed with how Groxy kept his composure, because I think I would have like tilted into oblivion seeing someone do that, like someone grief their own spot to target me for doing the correct play. Like I don't think I could handle it. So props to Groxy, but yeah, it was very infuriating watching this happen.
Okay, and so a lot of the response I saw a lot of the screenshots involved you being like mad about it, but I think hearing the context that you watched in real time go down, obviously you're fired up for your friend, you're fired up for the integrity stuff, so that makes a lot of sense. Rereplay, when you saw this happen, what is your response and what do you think about the situation?
Yeah, no, I think the situation is kind of messed up. Like, I mean, like it's a weird spot, right? Like someone's already out of the tournament and you're in the game with them, right? So like their placement doesn't really matter. So like I don't know what the solution is, but like
right, he's already out. Like, what else do you want him to do? Like disqualify him, ban him for a future tournament? Is that what you do?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I know we said the last one like doesn't need some punishment, but I'm pretty sure like this is like turbo suspicious to not like do something about at the very least, because like imagine like in all the open like tournaments day 1, day 2, there's a bunch of no-name players that like they're playing 1 cup total. I mean, they can just like go to their favorite streamer in their lobbies and just grief them and you know call it a cup. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sphinx, by the way, for what it's worth, did end up posting a tweet. He said a few things. One is he's sorry, right? He owns up to it. He's like, I got lost in it. It was not cool of me to do, and it was pretty messed up. 2, I understand if I get punished, and whatever it is. Hopefully, it's not a lifetime punishment. I think lifetime punishment is like way too extreme.
No,
way too extreme.
Yeah.
Anyone who's suggesting that can't be taken seriously. 3, he said, please stop personally attacking. And I think that is also really important. Let's not harass people, especially if they're trying to like face the music. If there's people kind of like, running away from it, denying it, being like, well, actually, I wasn't, technically, I might have just like contested it, excuse or like, if he was just being a clown about it, I can understand trying to press further, but let's obviously not go over the line here because that's the whole point of this. We're trying not to cross the line. I don't think anything else needs to really be said about it much, Bryce, but if you want to add anything, let me know.
Oh, I had like a lot of thoughts about this.
Oh, okay. So go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, I actually haven't talked about this at all because other than the day of, I was just like in chat being like 100% this needs to be punished. I don't even think this is a close call. Okay. I think that, like I saw on Reddit that the sentiment overall was that like he shouldn't be punished and this is part of the game. I think that's bullshit. I think that it would be such a huge mistake for TFT bigger picture to not punish him on some level. There's a part of this game that is different and a little bit special of like the social grace that we get like within the game. There's almost TFT etiquette at like a really high elo, and there's the reality situation that there's a lot of times in tournaments where you are mathematically limited from tournaments and you're still trying to like make it a fair fight for overall, since there's 8 people in the lobby, and like just kind of fading for fun is kind of unfair to the other players in the tournament when you only play in like a certain number of lobbies. And then there's also the part of like when people are still in qualification position, you're out, you shouldn't be fucking with them in any way like this. If you want to say going into a game like, look, I'm only playing any reroll this game, it's my favorite comp, I'm out, and you like make that direction clear at the beginning, at least you're giving people the opportunity to do other shit. He didn't do that. Like he very intentionally pivoted into a line he knew to be suboptimal on purpose to make Groxy's result worse because he was mad about what happened. And what Groxy did was totally within the bounds of the game, and what he did was totally not. And he doesn't argue about this, by the way. He says this. He admits it. He says it was his clear intent, even though he outplaced Groxy in the lobby. That's a bullshit argument. No one knows anything about the situation. We should be taking that argument seriously because that just happens. Sometimes the way in which the RNG of the game is gonna work out, you're gonna win even though you shouldn't have. Right, like it happens, right? So I don't know. For me, I think he hit the nail on the head in the number of punish. Like I think 1 to 2 cups is pretty fair. I think it would be a gigantic mistake to not do it in this situation. And by the way, it's very clearly against the rules, which is another big difference from the Spencer situation.
That is
like
true.
There is a rule in the book that says that players are expected to play at their best at all times within any match and to avoid any behavior that potentially threatens the actual or perceived integrity of competition or that's otherwise inconsistent with the principles of good sportsmanship, honesty, etc. Right?
Yeah,
like that is
true.
That is exactly what this was. So he agreed to follow a rule. He broke a rule. He admits he broke the rule. There need to be consequences. Sphinx is a good human being from my exposure to him. I think he just had a low moment. We all have those moments. And I think overall, he's been in TFT community for a long time. I've always really respected him as like a guy who works on the side and finds time to grind to get good at TFT sometimes. He's always been a nice, positive human being. And like anyone attacking him should fuck off. And when he comes back from whatever punishment I hope he gets, I'll welcome him back with open arms. And I think everyone should.
All right.
Yeah, for what's worth, I think I knew Sphinx a little in set 3 when I played, and I think he's a nice guy. I'm pretty sure it's just like you're out of the tournament, last game of the day, like when you're trying to have like for fun, like Heartsteel cash out and you get grief. Like it makes sense. Like most people get mad. I just think like in tournament, like you gotta keep it cool and like play properly still.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm glad Bryce got his spiel in. Right?
Like, I don't know
much more needs to be said, but everything you said, I think, was really great for the conversation. And that reminds me as well of something that I mentioned in the video. I think part of the reason why is because I said everything I wanted to say. But I just think that this is also reflective of the community, what we stand for. Like, I think it's like what we want the competitive TFT experience to be. And if it's one of those like hostile, like deal with it, gamers are soft, you're a wuss, whatever, like man up, right? All these different like people use like these weird like pseudo alpha terms to try to like talk about dealing with it. The reality is this is going to turn a lot of people away from wanting to compete, right? We want the scene to grow, and if it's like, well, it doesn't matter if I be toxic because it doesn't matter and it's like funny and it's like content, like whatever, like. And I think that kind of mentality is actually really bad for the future of what we want this game to be, because we don't want people to be like, assholes to other people just because they have nothing to play for. Like, who cares? Think outside of your myopic view of life and realize that this is a lot more than just your own individual experience. And I think that if we're able to look at it through that lens, we can understand that, hey, Sphinx is even on board. Let's punish it, set precedents, and stop this and nip it in the bud. All right.
Agreed.
With that being said, let's go ahead and transition to talking about things like the rankings. So let's go ahead and talk about, I guess we can just start with day one of the cup before we get into the rankings, because the main criteria of being able to be ranked is to make it to day 3 of the cup, which people in day 1, day 2 did not. So at this point, let's go ahead and just read the obituary, shall we? Day number 1, we got Phoenix, DQA, Emily Wang, Solus, Saint Vicious, Asa, Lil Top, and Broseph. All people who've had either notable results getting through regionals, did well in cups, or just prominent figures in general. Biggest surprise to you from this list? Let's start off with Rereplay.
I didn't check the facts, but I think I was talking to Solus before the tournament, and he said he's never not made it to day 3, going through day 1 every single time. So I think that's pretty surprising that he's made literally every single day 3.
Until now. Is that even true? I feel like...
I honestly believe that. I believe that.
You believe that?
He's the opening weekend killer. He often finishes
just
with
open chats. This usually has really good memory about this kind of stuff. And he's also one of the biggest Solus apologists I've ever seen. Tleyds, the biggest name that surprised you from day 1, or one name that surprised you from day 1.
I mean, looking at this list, I'd probably just say DQA. I feel like DQA usually has like very solid performances in tournament. I don't know if he even was like studying TFT at that point. Like maybe he was busy with other stuff. But I know even if he's not that involved in TFT, he usually can put together good day 1, day 2s and make day 3.
Okay. Bryce, I know that you were kind of in and out. I'm just going to go ahead and call out one name that I thought was surprising. I think Asa was actually on a really good trajectory this set. At one point, he was ranked 1. And so for him to get day 1, and also like the way it panned out, by the way, was the first cup in KDA Cup. He played himself out of the top rankings, and then as a result had to play through it and then narrowly missed out. And now he gets day 1 again. That's just really tough to swallow. It just kind of shows you how competitive things are right now. Bryce, do you have any other people that you think day 1, or we can move on to day 2?
I agree with Asa. I'm surprised.
Yeah,
I haven't got to watch him play. That's the hard part.
That is the hard part as well. I need to actually watch some of Asa's VODs. But I mean, he's putting a lot of effort at TFT coaching, and so he's a little bit more content focused now. But I don't know if that actually interfered with his play. Day 2, I think we can go ahead and just call out the elephant in the room. I think a lot of people thought Goobums was going to be one of the players that's like overwhelmingly favorited. The way it was described to me from his practice group with Dish Soap and Kurum was that he just didn't give himself time to prep. He actually like basically tried to kick into gear 48 hours or less to learn like everything he needed to do for the patch, and was just like missing. It's like all knowledge pieces that he should have. So he just wasn't as tight and clean. And maybe a testament again, going back to how competitive it is like before people used to waltz in and wing it, and players of Goobum's skill caliber be able to still make it to day 3 no problem because they just called it Disneyland parking lot. But you can't get caught, Bryce. You can't get caught.
100% what happened. I mean, he was overly brazen with how little he thought he could pair and still do well. And I think he thought he would probably get to a better state than he was, especially relative to the field. Goobums hasn't worked hard as TFT in a long time.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of it. And until he does, like when he was the best, when I thought he had one set 6, where I thought he was the best player in an A, I don't actually think it was that close. He was also the hardest worker.
Yeah.
At the time.
And he's been pretty vocal about like he even wanted to like quit competing at TFT. Yeah. He wanted to be like a for fun player, like maybe qualify for a cup. And then I think Vegas kind of brought him a little bit back over to like, maybe I should try. I think he's having a little bit of a competitive identity crisis. Does he actually want to keep trying, or does he want to kind of turn into like a, like maybe like DQA, like try, see if he can do it, but like be more for fun?
It's hard. It's exhausting. The grind you guys go on to play at the level that you do, and maintaining that level for any length of time is fucking, it's really hard. So I get it.
Yeah, we'll see. But he's going to join the co-stream this weekend. So at least he'll have some insightful things and yap a little bit. Hopefully we can yell it down. Tleyds, replay. Any names quickly in day 2 that stand out to you for people who didn't make it through?
I know Bruce Lowell was like sitting at 1,500, like the day of snapshots or something. I think he was like pretty high up.
1,500?
Maybe like 1,400 or something. Okay. He was definitely going to qualify for sure. And he just ran it down the last day so I could slide in and get a spot. So
okay,
shout out to him.
I need to tell this.
Big shout out to you.
There were 2 people who played themselves out of the top 32 towards the end. One of them was Bruce. The other was Beery, who Bryce gifted a PC. There was that person who had like the 20 FPS thing. two people who were grinding for top 32 played themselves out of it. They actually, had they sat, would have made it. And Rereplay, who did sit, who was in my chat the entire time, made it because these people played.
Okay, to be fair though, I was kind of on a tear. I just stopped playing because
that is true. You gained like 300 LP in like one sitting. So.
You were
I gained like 400 LP in one day.
Yeah,
like, I could have queued up a few more if I needed to.
He was locked in.
He was locked in. He was locked in. He was sojuing it up, if you will. Kind of doing it all in one sitting. Bruce played himself out of it by a lot, right? He was on a big downswing. Both of them queued. Beery ended up stop queuing because she realized that she was 33rd, and we found news that at the very last minute that Kai Wang was not going to join the tournament. So that means 33 would get through. So Beery's like, wait, I'm 33. I'm going to stop playing. Bruce needed a second or better with about 45 minutes left in order to have a chance to make it through. He gets a second, but because his lobby is mainly Masters and GM, he is off by 1 LP, so a second wasn't good enough. It was like 345 to 344 or 1344, something like that. And so he needed to queue up again with the remaining like 35 minutes to top 4 and then forfeit, which he did do. But when he forfeited at 12:01 and 50 seconds.
Dude.
Basically less than 1 minute past the deadline. And so had he was able to get it either 1 LP higher, because he had better stats on his profile, or 1 minute earlier, he would have made it to day 3 of Heartsteel Cup. As a result, he gets day 2, 1 LP, 1 minute. It was crazy. It was the craziest snapshot I've ever seen.
You know what I'm realizing is we should change the snapshot timing to end at 9 instead of ending at midnight, because you just, like, the story, and I've heard the story a couple times now, and every time you tell, I'm like, fuck, I'm so sad that I was asleep and I missed this. But if we did this at a time when people weren't going to be asleep, it would be a really, like, I think people would watch the hell out of the, like, ending ladder snapshot. Like, your co-stream on that, I think, would be a really, really good stream. I'm sure it is a great stream. It's just gated by when it ends. So we should talk to Riot about changing it. It doesn't matter. It's like an exam dead, like turning a paper. If you say it's 3, everyone turns it in at 250. If you say it's 5, everyone turns it at 450. Nothing's changing kind of vibe. So we should try it.
That might be real. I think I would like it to not be like 11:59 or 12:01.
I think this. Would you guys watch? Do you think you would watch if it was happening at like not so late?
Oh, I mean, I still watch it
anyway.
They like
yeah, but I'm it's about the old people. Then the old people would like to be able to watch this too. There's enough of us that we should target. You know, my demographic matters too.
No, I agree, because like also, like, as a player, like if you're like sitting to queue up last second, like, you'd rather queue up last second during the day and not like 3 a.m.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. With that being said, let's go ahead and bring up the people who did make the rankings, or rather, people who were eligible to be voted on but didn't actually get there. The cutoff this time was 24 points, meaning you got at least 24 placements on ballots. So without further ado, let's show the people who are on the outside looking in. And so a little bit of higher production value this time. I color-coded the people who got at least 4 votes, or 3 to 4 votes, like multiple people on the ballot. There were 14 submissions. There was a good amount of people who got like multiple votes of confidence. And I think that's worth noting, because some people got like 1 person to vote them and they're in the orange, and some people got 2 people to vote for them in the yellow. So for example, Philip got 2 votes, but they were last in the rankings, so he got 2 points. But at least it shows you that 2 people thought of Philip as opposed to just like 1 person who thought about Rain. That's just an interesting differentiation of different possible votes of confidence.
It matters a lot because the top of the list everyone's putting on their ballot, but the end of the list you have to make judgment calls about who you think are the people that are probably underrated on some level, like who are the people that are actually really good. It's just people aren't watching them. So the number of people that believe in someone for sure says something about where they're at.
Yeah. So Kyvix missed by 1 point, which was really interesting, which means that, who knows, maybe 1 ballot flip would have put Kyvix kind of there. But, just go ahead and just like do a shout out real quick on anybody else. So Rereplay, who do you think here out of the people you see are some of the most deserving players to break into the top 15 who didn't get recognition?
I'll shout out Nick, because I think this guy's actually really good this set. I know because I play on my main all the time, and he's sitting there on his like Smurf with higher LP than me and putting me in the ground. So
is he in the group at all? Because you guys both voted for him, I noticed.
Kind of. I don't know. T was a big Nick fan, I think.
He hangs out in your chats a lot. I see that. So and I said this last time. I think one thing I like about Nikhil specifically is that he thinks about the game deeper in terms of interactions than I think, because he's looking at more than just the surface level. He's saying, hey, if you do like this decision, it's a lot better because of like these two things and how they interact with each other. And so it just shows that he's seeing the game a lot deeper than it actually is. It's like, oh, I have 7 pentakill plus these items, like the thing that everyone knows. Tleyds, is there a name that jumps out to you that you're like, man, this person's like underrated?
Can I give multiple answers?
Sure.
Or just one? Okay, I mean, I think Tokyo, Degree, JD, and Nick are all like very, very, very
I
good.
was listing off the whole list.
Yeah, I mean, those four.
Again, so
Tokyo, Nick, Degree, and JD, I think are like are
18, 19,
deserving.
20, and 21. Or actually, no, sorry, I messed this up by one placement. It's 17, 18, 19, 20.
You didn't rank Tokyo or Degree.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I only had certain spots, and I was considering putting Tokyo 15, and then I also think Degree could probably make top 15 as well. But I mean, I didn't put I put thought into it, but I didn't put like the whole day's worth of thought into it.
Would you take the bottom of your list off of them? Like your 15th is Spencer, your 14th is Rob.
I mean, I've never watched Spencer. I just gave him the benefit of the doubt because he's like very high LP on ladder, and people like respect him good, and he's also done well in tournaments. So yeah, I just gave him the benefit of the doubt to put him on the list. But yeah, I've watched Tokyo, Nick, Degree, and JD, and I think they're very, very good.
Okay. Bryce, where do you can say one of the names that they said, but how about we go a little bit more interesting, like name someone else that hasn't been mentioned yet?
I mean, the only person that hasn't been mentioned that I think for me at least is probably Appies. I think Appies hasn't played good TFT for a long time, but I think he actually has this set, and I think that the tough thing about Appies is that there are spots that Appies will get value out of that like basically no one in the tournament is going to get that value, but he also makes mistakes. And so I think he's someone actually that what he gets offered in tournament probably influences results more than certain players. Some players are just pretty good at taking a lot of different lines or like a lot of different like things the game throws at them. And I think Appies can get like pushed into overcooking at times. So I think that I didn't get to watch him play today, so I don't know where he's at, quite frankly, in terms of his relative strength, but I think he's very capable of like doing very well on a patch like this and finding like a shitload of edge in 2-cost reroll, for example. Like he's the type of guy who could really play some of those lines better than a lot of people and like know the conditions for them and like he also like mixes and matches boards well. I don't know. I could see him being good.
Okay. I'm going to call out, I guess there's two people I can probably mention. The first is I actually was one of the two people that put Biri on my power rankings list only because I think I want them to succeed a lot. Like it's more like the hero story of like they get a PC from Bryce and then they go Super Saiyan and then they like top 8 a cup or something like that. I think that'd be
cool. I'll be rooting really hard for it.
I like that. And also rapid improvement a lot. I think they're still new to competing in TFT, and Biri also has it's like 2 tournaments back to back. Climbing through ladder, you never know. Maybe that's the breakthrough that is needed. The other person, though, who has been dominant ladder for a long time is Kai Wang. Actually, if you look at his stats, this guy is outrageously efficient on ladder. He actually has like stats that rival Setsuko and Disop in terms of the pure like the average placement, like relative to how many games they play and like their win rate. It's very impressive. It's one of the things where I was not sure if it's like. It was even like at first when he was climbing under the name Liquid Art, I wasn't even sure if that was an NA player. I thought it was like a CN player who like had an ult account or something like that. I didn't know about this guy at all. But now watching for do about 2.5 sets now, this guy is incredibly efficient on ladder, and there's got to be something there, right? We always talk about these ladder demons and beasts. This guy is just the least publicized one out of all of them. If you look at it closely, his profile is very impressive across both of his accounts. So that's the person that I want.
He has a 68% top 4 rate, and he averages a 3.47. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I think I don't think Kai Wang's playing. I think Robin accidentally voted Kai Wang.
Yeah.
So that's probably.
I know that he can't make the rank. I just want to call him out. So sorry, you're right. He's not playing the tournament, but I think Kai Wang. Okay, so you're saying if he was playing, would you have voted for him?
Oh, I probably would have put him on my list. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I wasn't sure if you're doing the thing where like that guy's really good, but I wouldn't.
I messaged you and I replied. Do you remember? I was like, oh, Kai Wang's not playing, and then I replaced him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. But yeah, this guy is pretty nuts. Okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and look at the top 15. Shout out to Weird, pretty underrated, Casper, DPay, Rainplosion, and Philip. Those are the members also for people listening audio.
JD?
JD got a shout out from
Oh, you're right.
when he named half the list.
Right.
Here is our top 15. At number 1, across the board, almost, was Setsuko. He did get a couple of people who didn't vote for him, but Setsuko at rank 1, Weijin at number 2, Disop at 3, and then Malala at 4. That's the gap, by the way. The gap is after Malala, not after Disop. Then we have Precedent in his own tier by 30 points plus minus, which is really interesting. That's tier 2, believe it or not. It's actually just solo Precedent. Tier 3 is Ripple, Spencer, Soju, and Robin and Rereplay. So you have a band of 6 to 10. And then 11 to 15, I just put them all together, which is Kiyun, Sox, Kurum, Rainplosion, and Tleyds. My first question is, when was the last time, does anybody, I will gift you a sub to whatever stream you want, if you can tell me the last time Dish Soap was out of the top 2 of the power rankings. We've been doing this for a while. When was the last time that Dish Soap was out of the top 2?
Set 7.
Set 7 is close.
I was gonna say I think it's set 6, and I think it's. I'm trying to remember when in set 6. Probably he wasn't for regionals, right? Because I think regionals we would have rated. Actually, did we rate him second at regionals? He might have been.
Someone said set 4. We didn't even do power rankings back then. Come on, guys.
I feel like it's
the
set 6.
answer is 7.5.
Oh, okay.
7.5. So set 7 is like a really broad, but just to be more specific, the last time Dish Soap was 3rd or lower was 7.5. And by the way, Dish Soap was part of the contribution of this. He ranked himself at 4th, which is lower than where he was in the PR. Other couple of things, the highest in Law has ever been. His previous high was 10th. Now he jumps up to 4th. And I think that's just respect for the way he's been playing the tournaments in the past. He could also be completely in that bad form. Who knows? But it's more of like respect for the performances that he's put out with MSI and KDA and TVO. And then the last time we ranked Sox, actually I revealed it, but it's been a while since we had Sox, man. It's been like about like 6 months or so. We've had Sox on the rankings. Set 9 Shurima Cup at 12, which is funny because that's exactly where he is now. So love to see Sox back on the power rankings. Okay, that's all my broad storylines, Bryce.
Sox.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, I would just want to say I'm rooting for Sox. I would love to see Sox do well. I think it's been a long time since Sox played good TFT, at least by his standards. Okay. You know, he was a really special player in the origin of the game, and he has not been able to get to anything resembling his peak form for some time. But if he's there, people are voting for him, which makes me excited. I want to watch him now because that means some people think he might be at least approaching it, and he could do some really cool shit this weekend if he's good, because I think there's room for it.
All right, so let's go ahead and start off with a couple of questions here. Rereplay, you come in here at 10th. You ranked yourself at number 1. Your ranking was Rereplay, then Malala, then Weijin, then Dish Soap, and then Setsuko.
Setsuko at 5th.
Setsuko at 5th.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Nope.
Say more. Say more.
What's the criteria of this ballot, by the way? Just like in terms, like likeliest to win the tournament, strength of play, currently form.
Likeliest to win the tournament.
Interesting.
I think
you think Setsuko is the 5th likeliest player to win the tournament?
I mean, like he can be 4. No.
I don't know. You ranked him at 5.
You ranked him at 5. Yeah, no, it's just interesting. That's all.
Oh, isn't it like kind of hard to rank between like Malala, Weijin, like me, like Setsuko and Dish Soap, or no?
I think it might be hard for you. I'm looking at other people's rankings. It was not that hard for that.
I have 2 responses to that. One, I think sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. It depends a little bit on current form. I do think that like putting Malala up there, it might be a little bit early, and I'm not sure how invested he's actually going to be for this tournament. I think he's capable of being a beast, but I don't think he has a lot of incentive to do it. And also, I think it's really interesting that you put yourself up there. I think you might be the only person who does that. You think you are in that conversation right now.
First thing is, I think Malala should be like first, to be honest. I think because I feel like he's been consistent in previous sets, and he won the last 2 cups, and he's also 3rd in TOC, which I think is like probably like the strongest like tournament there's been, like period. So I don't know. I think it's kind of hard to not put Malala first. I know like he has like memes about gold openers. There's a suspicious amount of gold openers in his games, but like consistency over like 3 tournaments, I think is like enough to to at least give him the respect. I think.
I like that. And I think that, you know what? If anything, I think that's very consistent with the way Rereplay has wanted things to be ranked, right? When Rereplay was performing very well and won the world championship, I think he was like, hey, why am I not ranked like top 2, top 3 consistently alongside these guys? And it feels like he was like 6th or 7th or 8th, and he wanted to break in. So I like that at least you're consistent with that ranking system.
I'm curious about your evaluation of yourself, though, because you're the one for yourself first, but no one
yourself isn't.
Yeah, I think if ranked you higher than 5th was the next highest, and was J, or 6th, and it was JD. So, like, what do you think it is that other people are missing about you? Like, how are they underestimating you so consistently?
I mean, like, if I don't believe in myself, who will, right? I mean, and I'm pretty sure, like, I think I need to perform in this tournament to make regionals, so I will perform. You know what I mean?
Okay. So Rereplay is doing the bragger's gambit, right? Like, he's trying to say I'm all that great because I need to be that great, otherwise I'm not going to regionals. Wow, that's you're risking a lot, man. You're putting a lot on the line. I didn't realize it was that high stakes for you. I thought you had been in a really good spot for regionals. Tleyds. Oh, do you want to follow up on that, Bryce?
No, I was gonna say there's only one tournament.
There's only one. I mean, there's 2 tournaments, man. I will say one thing. Is that it's only 2 tournaments, man. It's high variance.
Yeah.
If you don't make it, a lot of good players don't make it, but you're making it, man. Don't worry. You put yourself rank 1, like, you got to make it. I like that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's around a 50-50.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all in TFT.
You're basically saying you think you have a 50% chance of, like, top, what do you have to do? Top 16 this event? Top 8 this event?
And what was
final lobby?
You put final lobby, right?
Because you give yourself a 50% chance of final lobbying. That's really good. And let me put it this way. If I thought someone was a 50% chance of final lobbying, I would make that person very valuable in a fantasy draft. Like, I think that person's worth a lot of.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure historically I have a 50% chance. So,
all right.
Hopefully history repeats itself. Yeah, flip the other way, right?
No, you're totally right. Tleyds, you come in at 15th. This is fair for you. Do you feel? I mean, for one thing, you were very close with Kyvix, tied neck and neck. You think 15 is accurate? Do you feel like you should be higher than this?
Oh, I think this is fair. I think maybe my ceiling, if I like tried really hard, could be higher. But I just need to perform more consistently in tournaments. I think I don't think I've really shown like a consistent performance so far. So I feel like it's fair to put me here.
It's funny that you guys say that because you come off of pretty solid set 9. So we've had 1 cup. Like, we've had TiVo and then we had 1 cup, so you guys can't really knock yourself.
I mean, in the cups in set 9, I still didn't even perform that well. Like, I performed well in mid set and regionals. Like,
those are the most important cups,
that's what people remember, right?
But,
yeah.
Okay, you're very humble. I like that. Another really interesting thing, out of all the top players, the only person that didn't rank Precedent was Precedence. I actually talked to him right before it, asking him if he felt like he was in good form. He's like, man, I didn't rank myself for a reason. That's really interesting. Bryce, what do you make of it? You're pretty close to the group.
I believe him that he doesn't think he's in form. I think that he's a really hard worker and he's got a lot of foundation on the set already. And I don't think that he'll be in bad form by the time the tournament happens. He's also been someone that's just he's someone that there's a lot of players who watch their own VODs or like think about their own games. They're like, I played that perfect. I just got fucked. And he's like the opposite of that, where no matter what, he'll always blame himself for whatever the placement was, even if like bigger picture the RNG probably like actually did fuck him and he wasn't going to do better. So I think he's a little bit like glass half empty as it relates to his own play. So I think it'll be really good.
Out of all the top 8 people from Setsuko all the way down to Soju, everyone voted on them except for 2 people. President didn't vote for himself, and Soju, I think, forgot about Ripple. I think he just didn't remember Ripple Overdrive. Ripple comes in at 6th. We're talking about Glaze, Bryce. You were all over Ripple for how well he handled himself at the KDA Cup.
I can't remember a single time that a player has made this type of leap based on one tournament performance. I mean, this is a guy who historically there were people who kind of were in the know and would talk about this guy and how good he was, but a lot of the time he was really flying under the radar. I'm trying to remember if he's ever been. I'm sure he's been ranked before, and I doubt it's ever been higher than like 14th or 15th. So this is a crazy leap for him. But based on the limited data that I saw just that tournament, I was super impressed. Yeah. Nico wants me to say his name. And Nico, listen, man, I'll say a lot of people's names giving credit for player scouting, but you'll never be one of them because if you claim everybody, then you've claimed nobody. So like, if you tell me 15 people are beasts, and then I only ever hear about 3 of them again, then like I don't know. You don't get credit for that. Actually, you're just throwing darts at the board, my dude.
Oh, small thing. I think set 8 regionals, Ripple was ranked around 6 to 8.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure set 8, like Ripple was like
he?
making his way up in the power rankings.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't remember this.
He was, but I do feel like people forgot, for what it's worth, because
I think it's worth he just didn't play a set.
Yeah, he just didn't play a set. So like once people realized he was like trying hard, I feel like he just came back.
I missed set 8,
and
right?
he was
like,
still really close to qualifying as well in set 9. He was like, because he did play set 9, right?
Yeah, I guess I missed that stuff. I missed the second half of set 8. I forgot about that because that's also when Replay did really well.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Out of this tier of like Spencer, Soju, I guess we'll put Rereplay out of this, and Robin. It's really interesting because these people have been around for a really long time. Actually, let me ask about this. Spencer hasn't put up like a really amazing performance in set 5, I think. He's probably had a couple tournaments where he's done like well, but he made it to the World Championship in set 5. Is there anything missing about his play, or does he just kind of not have the right roles and the right games and setup here? Bryce, what do you think?
I mean, hasn't he just not cared about TFT for a really long time, and he's just starting to care about TFT again? It's been a long time since I remember Spencer like actually doing any level of preparation for any event. He was definitely in like for fun mode for basically the entire period of time.
Okay.
But it's kind of similar to Pocky. Actually, they have really similar timelines and arcs where whenever they play at their highest level, I think they are one of the 5 to 10 best players in North America. And it seems like Spencer's invested in getting back there. It's cool. I mean, he's super fun. If you never watched Spencer, he plays on the razor's edge. He was kind of like Milk 2.0 in some ways. Faster though, my God.
Yeah, he's much faster and way like even more degen than Milk in some ways.
He is.
He was like
sure.
Milk 2.0 in terms of hyperdrive.
He's DQA speed, but very different stylistically.
I will say that I'll say this about Spencer. Soju said that if you even have a little bit of a belief in Soju or his group, is largely due to the effort that Spencer has put in. He feels like Spencer has filled an important gap that Milk left for this set. Milk, by the way, has messaged us and said he misses TFT. He said it. He said he misses TFT. Believe it or not, in these behind the stage conversations, the one defending Mortdog and Riot is not me or Bryce. It's actually Milk. He's a changed man, you guys. I don't even know what to tell you. He's defending Riot. He's like, I miss TFT. He's a brand new person. Amazing what a break will do. But if you were to believe what Soju and Film saying, Spencer is the reason that everyone is really competitive in that group, because like he is anchoring them with a lot of the knowledge and helping guiding them. So if you're like, oh, Soju carried by Milk, Soju carried by Spencer. There's that.
Soju always perpetually carried that guy.
I mean, he's never going to take the credit for himself unless he actually thinks it is. So
I'm kidding. You know what's funny is that the only time Soju was in his true peak form when he made Worlds, he was the one carrying.
That is true. That is also very true. Last major storyline here before we move on to agrees and then power rank and then fantasy draft here to close it out. Tleyds, you're the person who gave Sox the most points. Bryce and Replay didn't even vote for him. I had to argue to put him on my list, and I purely looked at his profile and was impressed. Why is Sox so high for you, and how he made this ranking?
Well, I don't remember where I put him, but I put him strictly on this based off of what I had seen from him on ladder, just in my games. Like I feel like he just always played like niche lines and always top forward with it. Like I swear he's the only guy that like top twos with Annie consistently. Like I've never seen him bot 4 with Annie. So like I think he just knows how to play some lines well, and he's like very, very high LP right now. Has good stats, and I just noticed him in my games. So that's why I ranked him.
Okay. Also note, Rainplosion seems like she's trying to get back in form. She really wants to perform well, and the lab's got her back, so we'll see. Rain also said she's looking for more serious members in the lab because most of the lab already quit set 10 to go play Minecraft. So she's also looking for people who practice really hard if she makes it to regionals. So more on that later. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and move on to agree. We got a couple of fun ones here. The first one is something that's actually been discussed a lot. We can make this kind of a quick one if we want. Scrappy inventions should be banned in tournaments. This is probably for upcoming Heartsteel Cup. Let's start off with Rereplay.
I think this one's a weird one. I don't think so. I think both ways you do it, it's kind of bad, right? Like either even offer this augment, average of 4, like you're probably gonna top 4 it with it, right? But if you ban it, like you're down on augment choice, which just also feels bad, right?
Yep.
I think you should let it go because like I think there's other augments that are also really broken that are like maybe not as broken but very close to. So like if the augment just red, you get a component on 2-2 and 2-3, then is it even a bug? I think it's fine. Yes.
Okay, interesting. Tleyds.
I mean, I personally would just get rid of it. I think losing one augment is fine, and if the augment doesn't play as intended, I think it's a little too strong for stage 2, which could just catapult someone into an easy top 4. So I don't really see any reason to ban it or to not ban it.
Hold on. Degree says in chat, Rereplay knows he needs Scrappy this weekend to make regionals. Wow. All right. You just gonna take that Rereplay?
Oh, like I just want to say, like Scrappy averages a 4, but roll the dice averages also a 4.
Yeah.
So it's like, do we have to ban roll the dice also? Because like statistically, it's around the same power level. So I just don't really see it.
He has a point.
Listen, you guys, I don't even know why we're having a conversation about this. I will say, as like someone who was disconnected from a little bit and came back in. I mean, yeah, it's for sure too strong. There have been so many instances in TFT where there were augments that were significantly more broken than this. Part of it is about the chosen mechanic too, because there's such a disparity between the broken 1-cost chosens and the not broken ones, that if you take this augment but then you don't get offered one of the broken 1-costs or like a board that you could actually play around, you miss the tempo advantage that Tleyds is talking about. And then the augment's just like, it's too good, but it's not that much too good. So I don't know. I think it's kind of crazy that we're talking about banning this. I think that the question is simply what's worse, like having it. What feels worse, like having it exist in the game where someone can get it, or like being the person who goes -1 augment because of something outside your control. I think it's the latter on this instance.
It is, so Bryce is a disagree. I mean, I voted agree because it's really close. Actually, it's 45-55 split right now, slightly in favor of disagree. But I think my personal take is probably disagree very slightly for the reasons you guys mentioned. I will drop this fact, and then we'll move on from it. Apparently, it won 25% of the games for an SCA tournament. And the 25% of the games that were won because someone picked Scrappy Inventions on 2-1. Just food for thought.
I'm pretty sure that sample size is way too low to be like anywhere.
I understand completely. I'm just dropping an observation, and then we can move on.
If I thought it was going to be that, I would ban it for sure. By the way, if I thought that was the level of impact we were talking about.
Yep. Okay, moving up next. The lack of the mid set has made set 10 feel stale and boring lately. People are talking about how set 10, all this great production, stuff like that, but like maybe mid-set was actually good to kind of keep things spicy. But do we feel like set 10 is stale and boring? What do we think? Tleyds, you start off here.
Wait, I don't understand how the lack of so is it just because this set goes longer than the transition periods between?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is something I read directly from a thread. So I'm pulling a lot of these from people who rant or like post comments, stuff like that.
My take would be no. I mean, I personally think it would be, or it's more fun to look forward to a new set. So if I have something like set 11 coming sooner than having to wait through mid sets, I would much rather have that. So I personally don't find it stale.
Bryce, I already know the answer to this for you, but
well, yeah, I mean, I never get bored. Okay, that's not true. Well, yeah, actually, I never get bored because I either like hate the set and then I'm never like really enjoying it the same way. But if it's a set that I'm capable of enjoying, then I just keep enjoying it because I never play enough volume. So I don't think we're there. I will say that the purpose of the change in part was to extend the period of time where we're playing a set where it feels good to play, where like they've worked out the balance at a baseline level so that there's like a meaningful amount more skill expression involved, like the meta opens up a little bit, etc. And I like playing the game when the game is better, so I'm like happy that there's more time where the game is better.
I might just be weird, but I personally hate change. Like I hate the start of new stats. I hate like big patches. So I mean, I don't know. Like I just think I hate learning. Like I hate like having to renew trades. I hate having to like not know what things do. You know what I mean? So it's like me personally. I mean, I'm happy we can play the set for another year. It's all good.
Oh my god, man, you should have been like a chess player or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. You should.
You picked one of the worst games to try to be at the elite level if you're really against change. My gosh. Crazy. Okay, so chat 80-20 split here, but there's still a small portion of people that actually do believe that. They feel like Bitset would have been a much more refreshing thing than just playing the same thing at this point. Okay, number 3. This one is an image. We're just going to go with the headline, though. The drama and shit-talking in TFT tournaments has me more excited than the actual tournament itself. And then they go on to elaborate and say, hot opinion, but I don't remember one last cups. I haven't thought he was the best player, but man, the recent drama is so entertaining. Let's start off with Bryce.
I mean, me personally, no, but I also recognize that I'm probably the outlier here and that it's probably objectively a good thing for the game. Like, I've been around esports long enough to, like, see the impact of drama on esports, and, like, it for sure is a good thing, like, big picture for the game. So I'm not more interested in the tournament, but I do recognize it's probably a good net good.
Okay. All right, Rereplay, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely agree. I think I followed chess for a little bit because there was a lot of like cheating drama. So like, I think drama is really good for publicity. So
Interesting. Is that why you rank yourself number 1 at its core? You're just trying to stir it up.
Okay, I feel like that shouldn't really be that hard of a take. But I mean, it is what it is. Like.
I like that. Tleyds.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think some drama is good for getting people to invest in the scene.
Okay, I'm going to say that it does have me more excited, not more than the actual tournament itself, because I think I still really like the TFT action a bit. But I think there's one thing that is, in general, missing in North America was emphasizing kind of a deeper ingrained storyline and narrative that is actually, because like the problem with NA was that everyone was always like, well, this player is really good, and but some of these people are like Disneyland, but I'm not going to say who, right? Everyone's just kind of like, basically dipping their toes in, but not really committing. It feels nice for there to actually feel like there's a lot more than just like qualifying for regionals on the line. There's actually like pride. Like Weijin like unfollowed a bunch of people, and like I see like the community for his True Nations, like he threw out some words, right? And so now there's actually some pride. So if Weijin like clears everyone, which he's one of the players favored to do so, him and Malal and everyone, if Showtime Suck server shows up, if Showtime tops 8 alongside everyone else, it's going to be quite a statement to be made over everybody else, and I think that only heats things up. It does make it more
Showtime winning the tournament, the statement.
I will say, I'm not a fan of people just being immature for the sake of just like being a jerk and being an asshole, but I will say that it does spice things up and make things more interesting. And I think that we all stand to benefit for just more engaged storylines in general. Chat is a 60-40 split, by the way. So it seems like not everyone's on board with, yay, more drama, because I don't think that's everyone's cup of tea, which I also totally respect. But I think drama is what ultimately gets people involved a lot. Okay, the last agree. This one's a big one. Saying TFT is competitive is a lie. And since we have different people showing up in each Worlds, TFT competitive will never be branded and accumulate viewers. People watch competition to see the most charismatic / talented / disciplined or favorite individuals to battle it out. But since the game and format is way too RNG based, it's going to keep getting different people on the scene, and it's never going to grow significantly like Valorant or LOL. Tleyds, what do you
think? I mean, is this a Bebe tweet?
Yeah, this is a Bebe tweet.
This is word for word copy from Bebe's
By the way, the fact
tweet.
you don't immediately know that is a little troubling.
Well, I felt like I knew it, but I just didn't want to like come off saying like, oh, this is a Bebe tweet and that be wrong. So I just had to make sure. But I mean, I think obviously this is just egregious. But, yeah.
He said agree. He said egregious. Got it.
No.
Tleyds doesn't agree. What do you think, Rereplay?
Okay, I feel like you guys have like really one-sided opinion on this with the way you read it, but I think you feel like some parts of this actually have some merit.
Which parts?
So, I mean, like, don't hate me too much, but I think like in most games, like having the same players show up to big tournaments, like having the same people, like having like a consistent storyline, I guess, is like very like good for like a viewer base. Does that make sense, right?
Yep.
But in TFT Worlds, like for example, like there is like a lot of different players every single going to Worlds, so I think it is very like that part is pretty fair. where it's like there's not like a long-term storyline, or it's a lot harder for a casual viewer to follow like a long-term.
Okay, that's fair.
TFT.
That's fair. My follow-up question is, how many people do you feel like need to come back for that to be true? Because there are people that go back. And if you also look at like North America, right, we do ladder. It's like always 20 of the same 32 people, always every single tournament making it to day 3. So how much do you actually feel like it needs to improve for you to feel like, okay, that's actually fine now?
Oh, I don't think this is something that you can improve. I think it's like with the way TFT is inherently based, that like there should be different people playing it. I think it's just like one of the setbacks.
Okay. So you're saying this is just a reality we have to accept, but he's not wrong about this.
Yeah, like it's definitely gonna be like harder to have like a storyline with the same players going to Worlds every single set. You know what I mean? Because like for example, like I don't know, we can take a different game, chess for example. Like there's the same like 12 players playing every single tournament, and there's gonna be a consistent storyline between them but like that just be there, which is fine.
Okay.
But, yeah.
No, I mean, okay, but comparing TFT to chess is a very different. They're actually two ends of the opposite in terms of extremes. Okay, it's not quite extreme, but it's like a few degrees separate from that. But Bryce, what's your take?
I am gonna systematically rip this apart. I have avoided the Bebe conversation because I really like him. I really enjoyed my limited time with him in person, and I feel like everyone was making the arguments. And so I didn't feel like I needed to wait in. I felt like the other side was thoroughly covered. But like, if you're gonna put it in front of me on the show, then I guess I will say it. I think every single sentence of this is pretty stupid. I think that like as a like threshold matter, saying that TFT is competitive is a lie is bullshit. It's obviously really competitive. If you look at the like long arc results of good players across every major region, you will see them consistently. I think that the storyline element of this that Rereplay is playing up is like extremely overblown. I don't actually think there's any data whatsoever that backs up the notion that like you need to have the same folks to build consistent storylines. I think there's actually a lot of data on the other side where sometimes like a dynasty can be problematic. It depends on the dynasty. Sometimes dynasties are like love to be hated and it causes more people to like watch things for a longer period of time, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it just makes the competition feel stale. Right? Yeah. If like watching Max Verstappen win the cup for the first time was like a different storyline the second time, but then eventually it's like it actually is less and less exciting to watch it happen over and over again. Right? Think about the most dominant golfer in the history of golf was Tiger Woods. If you look at it from a percentage of tournaments won, like what percentage of tournaments that he enters does he win? And in his prime, he won 33% of tournaments, which is a shitload in golf. That's so many. But he was actually taking tons of tournaments off because he would like take long breaks and then get locked in to play his best golf, whereas a lot of people would just like play most weekends. So most tournaments, you didn't even have Tiger there. And like, yeah, Tiger is Tiger and he influenced the story, but like the peak Tiger was when you had rivals, other people that were competing that you felt like were going to be competitive. So I think there's value to TFT if we pull on these storylines in telling these broader arcs. I think poker's another great example of this, by the way. Like poker, it's so much variance and there's less control than there is in TFT. So they actually have to deal with turnover on tournament year-over-year basis more than any other sport. Poker storylines are awesome. Poker's continuing to thrive and grow. So yeah, go for it, please.
Can I pipe in real quick? You said something about like having consistent players isn't good for like viewership or something like that. But like, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of examples. Like for example, like League last season Worlds, I think I had one of the best viewerships because of Faker. Another example is like NBA during like the Warriors LeBron kind of like period. I'm pretty sure those were like the best viewership.
This is just anecdotal though. Like that's my point. Like there's going to be good on both sides. Like there are trade-offs to how it works, like how the competitive season plays out on a year-over-year basis. Like there are times when the runs of a dominant player or team are interesting in the beginning and become less interesting over time. But like, yeah, if you're cherry picking like the most famous player in the history of the game coming back for a world final again, like, yeah, of course that's going to do a ton of viewership.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, I would like a little bit more consistency, right? Like just to add a little bit more of a conclusion, because I feel like you two can just basically agree or disagree at this point. Is that
wait? Oh, I think that first of all, I think the phrase is kind of bad. I'm just saying there's like a sentence of merit.
I get where you're coming from on it. I totally do.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's and for what's worth, I'm not saying Rereplay is like defending like this entire statement or whatnot. He's actually trying to entertain the spirit behind the conversation. Which, by the way, as much as Bebe's terrible delivery of his, I agree with Bryce. I consider maybe a friend. I've also confronted him in private about the way he communicates. And also, I've defended him multiple times before he actually started lambasting Riot the way he has been. And I'm not saying that Rereplay is doing that. But I will say that I do like that Riot is bringing back the World Championship winner of Set 10. If there's anything to motivate you two, just to put a wrap and a ribbon on this, Tleyds Rereplay, if you win Set 10 championship, you're going to come back guaranteed for Set 11 championship. That is something that has changed for the system, and I think that's ultimately a good thing, and it's a step in the right direction, because I don't think we're exactly there. I don't think the needle is perfect at where TFT is. This is not Bryce's point at all, but to sort of like argue slightly against him is that we could move the needle a little bit more towards consistency, and I don't think the game would be worse for it. At least the competitive aspect of it wouldn't be worse. So hopefully we can settle there, because I think we can go for a long time. But boys, we got ourselves a fantasy draft to get underway for the last leg of the show. Shall we?
We shall.
All right, here we go. So let's go ahead and show what fantasy is. I have to actually grab the right browser, so give me a sec here. Bryce, why don't you go ahead and explain rules one more time for anybody who has never seen this before?
I think it's one of everyone's favorite things every time. I'm assuming we all know the rules at this point, but very simply, you get $100. We're going to take turns nominating a player. Nominating a player doesn't actually give you any benefit. It just means you're picking who goes up on the block. There's a little strategy around that, admittedly, but you can ignore that and it's probably fine. We'll bid up until whoever has the highest number wins. So, spend your money wisely. Save money for who you want. Spend money when you think someone's worth it.
And we're going to briefly show the results last time in case you missed it. But
yeah, we are.
Bryce got first off of the back of a really dominant team. Almost everybody made it to day 2. Or actually, I think you had everyone made it to day 2, or day 4 rather. And you just kind of ran away with it. And then Weijin came in second, Blah third, and myself in last. But let's go ahead. It's a new draft, a new opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and roll. And Bryce, you are first to nominate. Bryce, you are first to nominate.
Weijin.
Oh.
For 20.
Okay. Weijin Iverson for 20. I'll go Weijin 24. Or bumping him up.
27.
Ooh.
30.
Oh, wow. This is way more aggressive than I'm used to. 31. 31 for Weijin.
32.
33 for Weijin.
34. Right.
Oh, Bryce, did you chime in? Okay, so
35.
Oh my gosh, we have a 3-way bid. 36.
Fuck it. I'll get in there.
Oh, 37. Wow, we have a first-time 4-way bid for a player this high. 37.
38.
Oh. Okay. 38 for Tleyds. Weijin Iverson going once. Going twice.
39.
Oh. 39 on Bryce. Wow, this is the first time we've actually seen like this kind of bidding play out. It's really interesting. 39. Wait, Tleyds, looks like me and Rereplay are out, so do you want him for 40?
All right, even 40, I'm in.
Oh, baby.
Replay's back in it. All right. I can't win. This 3-way bid is crazy.
That's my last offer.
40 on Weijin Iverson by Rereplay. Going once. Going twice.
41.
Oh, phew. Yeah. Didn't want that one.
Sure, buddy. Tleyds. Weijin Iverson, 41. I'm out. 41. Going thrice. Bryce, congratulations. You've gotten Weijin Iverson for $41. Man.
I thought I'd be able to get him a little cheaper if I threw him out first. That's why I wasn't sure if I wanted to actually nominate first. First.
Based on the trend of how it is, I can see how that would work out. But that was really interesting. Okay, Tleyds, you're up next.
Good sets go in there.
Oh my god, we're going for the big ticket items. Okay, Setsuko 1. What are we starting at?
Start at 25.
25, 25, 6. I mean,
30.
31,
35,
36,
37.
38.
All right, even 40.
Woo!
41.
Is it the same thing you did last time? Is it the same thing you did last time?
I gotta read right where Tleyds is gonna stop. Nah, he would bet 44. I bet. Wait, were we at 41? All right, 42 it is.
Wait, weren't you already at 40?
I thought you
were
bid 40. No one bid above.
I thought you were 41.
Wait, no, Tleyds said 41.
Did you?
I don't remember. But sure, 41.
All right.
Yeah,
Tleyds,
so 42, so
41.
fuck it. So wait, did you? I thought you bid. Wait, did you bid 42 replay?
All right, now I'm bidding 42. Yeah.
Whoa.
If you think he's willing to go to 44, you should just bid 43. You might as well,
Yeah,
right?
43.
Because now you have to bid 44 to bid him up to 45.
I mean, I'm out. Job's done.
All right. 43 for Setsuko. I'm out. Bryce is out.
44.
Ooh. Oh my god.
My.
Bryce is all in.
Bryce doesn't even take the risk. He doesn't even bet early.
45.
Oh my god. Can we get to the fabled mismatched socks number? I think Socks went for 48 back when he was at regionals and the heavy favorite by Soju. Soju bid for 48. 45. Going once. Going twice. And Bryce lets it go. Setsuko goes to Tleyds for a cool 45. Wow.
Would you have bid 47?
Me? No.
Yeah. You wouldn't have? Okay, good.
Okay.
I was trying to decide if I could squeeze you for another $2.
All right. Rereplay. You're up next for bidding.
Pressed event 20.
20. 22. Oh, interesting. Nobody wants precedent for 22.
23. Hold up.
24.
I feel like Bryce is just waiting till the end, dog. Like,
I mean,
maybe
Bryce
just wait till the end too.
doesn't have that much money.
What are we at? 25, baby?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 25.
26. 26 for precedent.
Aren't we stupid low right now?
27.
Hmm.
I think I'm forgetting.
28.
How can you be forgetting people? We're only like 2 people in.
28.
I didn't have a full strategy. 29.
Uh, 30.
I'm out.
Okay. The precedent for 30. Did Tleyds or Bryce?
Nope.
Okay. All right. I'm okay with that. All right. So I'm up next. Should we just do it then?
Just rip it.
Yeah. I'm going to just put up dish soap for 38.
39.
40.
41.
42.
43.
44.
45.
Woo! Replay. Or Tleyds, you want in on this? 45.
I'm chilling. You got
45 going once. 45 going twice. I'll go 46.
Man, this guy builds the drama.
I'll go 46.
$47.
Oh, man. 48.
Oh, shit.
48 on dish soap.
Yeah,
Tying
fuck it,
the mismatched socks record.
49, fuck it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. Bryce has $10 for 3 players. And he has Wajin and dish soap. Oh my god. Oh my god. You know what? Fine. 50. We'll go the first 50 cost we'll have in fantasy here at full value. 50 for dish soap. Bryce. Dish soap for 50 going once. Dish soap for 50 going twice.
51. Fuck it.
Oh my god. All right. I'm out. Tleyds replay. Dish soap for 51 going once. Going twice. Sold to Bryce. Wow.
Man, I now I wish I bid 46 on Setsuko, but that's okay.
Man. Okay,
Yeah,
just checking in, Bryce. This is the most aggressive I think you've ever bid like this.
Yeah, for sure. I've never done this strategy.
This is crazy, but I mean, Wage and Dish soap. I mean, that's a pretty hard to 1-2 punch. That's like two of the top three.
I was always going to leave this draft with two of dish soap, Setsuko, and Weishin always, no matter what.
All right.
I mean, I guess you could have literally outbid me. You would have the bid 60.
Right. But okay. Bryce, what an interesting turn of the draft.
I will bid Kurum X for $1. Actually, Kurum X for $6. Fuck it.
Wow. Wajin, dish soap, and Kurum. Kurum for $6.
Yeah, 15.
$15 for Tleyds.
I'm out.
Replay.
I'm out. I feel like you might have just cyphered some money out of you.
I think Kurum's really good.
Yeah, but that's not the game.
$16 for Kurum.
Oh, never mind.
No impact.
$16 for Kurum. Tleyds.
Just 17.
$17. 18. $18 for Kurum. Going once. Going twice?
19.
19. Leaving you at 51. Okay, I'm going to slide. I'm out. Replay, you're out?
I'm out.
Okay, 19 for Kurum X to Tleyds. Pretty solid
at some
value.
point, I need five people on my team.
You do?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Someone said earlier that they've seen you throw these types of econ leads before.
Oh, don't worry. This one's unthrowable. Look at my lead.
Dude, everyone believes you're gonna surprise it and replay for 100, but you need 5 people on the team, man.
I'm not letting you get yourself for free. I'll just say that.
All right, Tleyds, you're up for next because Bryce put up Kurum.
Let's get Mr. Ripple Overdrive.
Oh, interesting. For how much?
For how much?
20.
I bid $6.
20, 22. 22 for Ripple Overdrive. Replay?
I can do 23.
Okay. 24.
Like, is Ripley even trying this tournament? Like, not 25. Like, I'm only saying that so you don't bid higher, by the way. So you make it clear.
I believe you. 26.
27 final offer.
28. 28.
Says final offer.
28.
Well, at some point, I need some players on my team.
You do.
29.
See, final offer. This fucking guy lied right to your face, Dan. How did it feel?
I immediately called out his bluff.
Well, that's my final offer for 28. But now I have a 30 final offer.
You go 30?
No integrity.
You said so. Ripple Overdrive for 30.
I'm at 30. I'm at 29. I thought I was at 29.
Oh, then I'll take him for 30. Sure.
Oh, hell no. How many players are still on the board?
Replay, you gotta type "got him" into chat because every single time you're bidding more and lose, you type "got him."
No, I realized at some point I need players on my team.
Yeah, I agree. It's possible you got yourself, but we'll find out, I guess.
What are we at? 31. 31 it is. I'm a Ripple believer. Say.
Oh, man. 32.
33. I think you got one more in you.
33. 34.
35.
$36.
I don't know if I can drive the markets up anymore. Pretty high bargain.
The values of this draft have completely changed, by the way, compared to normal. We're in actually uncharted territories because the way average value per player has gone so far.
I think you have one more in you. What are we at? 37?
Yeah.
Sorry, forget. You bid 37?
I bid 37.
All right, I'm out. I'm sorry.
All right, Ripple Overdrive to me for 37.
Oh, wait. Oh, it's already.
It's already, yeah, it's too late. You can't.
I feel bad because Ripple says I don't believe in them. So now I feel bad.
I promise this is the most Ripple's ever gone for in a fantasy draft.
Yes, this is the most he's ever gone for.
Wait, would you have what, 39?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no, I should have one more.
This value replay. Wow.
Job was not done.
Wow, it's not done. Did not get him.
Okay.
All right, that was my fault.
Replay, you're up for offering next.
I'll put up Hugh. Oh, at 10. Oh, sorry, at 1.
I
realize you guys at 4. I don't want to just throw out my like.
It's Kiyun?
$2.
$6.
$7.
Damn it.
I can do a cool 8. Three.
I'll
2,
do 9.
10. I need players on my team.
Uh, 11. $11 for Kiyun.
Wow.
Keaton for 11 going once. Going
12.
twice.
Wait,
12. 12 for
Wait,
Tleyds.
did I not say 12 myself? Two.
I heard Tleyds. 12 to Tleyds.
Okay, I might be tripping, but I feel like Tleyds just bet my 12 with a 12.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm tripping. I'll say 13. My fault.
13 for okay. I'm out. Tleyds.
Wait, Gary Marquis says replay said it, but it cut out.
Well,
All right. Well, I'm out.
Okay. Q is replays for $13. Nice job.
Yep.
Okay, I'm up next
I'm
for
pretty sure
offering.
that's really good value for Keaton's current form. I think he's worth a lot.
You guys are poor.
It is. I would agree with you up until 2 days ago.
Oh, okay.
I would agree with you up until 2 days ago, but we'll see.
Interesting.
Hyun is really good at the set, by the way. It is really good. But I was actually the first on the Hyun hype train. Just putting it.
Isn't he like already guaranteed regionals? So like he doesn't even need to try that hard this cup.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm up next. I'm gonna go with.
Oh, you guys, we fucked up. I just realized we fucked up. We literally there's not enough money left to bid replay up on himself.
I'll go
literally
replay
do
for
it.
31.
It doesn't even matter. Tleyds can max bet 34. So he gets him something at a discount.
I'm just gonna replay 31.
We got guys. This guy rated himself higher. This guy rated himself higher than you.
What? He rated himself the wrong way. He's not gonna bid on himself.
That's a steep price to play.
This guy rated himself higher than Dishop. Dishop went for 51.
All right.
The values of this draft are completely different, man.
Wait, so the most Tleyds can bet is 34.
If you want to bet right now to drive it up, you have to go 34.
I'll bet 34.
It's a leak right now. The fact that Tleyds didn't bet 34 immediately was a huge leak. He just lets you get a +1 for no reason.
Oh, that means he doesn't believe in me, right? 34 though. I'll bet 34.
You're yours.
All right, it is yours. 34 replay. This is such an interesting draft race. I'm down to debrief.
That's why. Yeah, we can do it. I'm down to do it.
Okay, Bryce, you're up next.
Who will you guys not let me get? We just did replay. Who's the highest ranked player left? Is it Robin? I'll do Robin for $6. Tweet.
Robin for $7.
Okay, I'm out.
$8. Most I can do.
Oh, Malala. Malala's 12. I probably should have put Malala up. Whatever. 8. Most I can do, he says.
He said with the most amount of money. $9. $9 for Robin.
Bad.
$9 for Robin going once.
10.
Oh, 10. Very replay it.
Most I can do.
11.
12.
13.
14.
15.
All right, now I gotta find where I feel like Front's gonna go for a while. Fuck it, 17.
Whoa, I like it. The skip bet.
17. Tleyds, do you want in on this at all?
That's non-binding.
Wait, you don't have to. I'm just asking. 17.
Oh, you have more than you.
Nah, I'm passing for 17. Okay.
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
Job's not done.
Going once, going twice. Robin for 17 for replay. Man, you doubled for more than what you said you could do. You said 8 was the most I could do. You went 17.
That means the most I can do.
Who put up Robin? Bryce did. Tleyds, you're up next.
Let's do Malala. Malala for
35.
He gets a bid first. This is actually really impactful.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, never mind. No, it doesn't matter. He has money.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over. Never mind.
Replay takes Malala for 35. Wow. And just like that, Rereplay went from the least drafted team to all of a sudden he's down to his last dollar.
What do you have?
He has $1 left.
$1.
Oh, okay.
For what it's worth, I thought that was a possibility that could have happened where he was just going to all in on Malala.
Yeah, I couldn't have bet any more than 17.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I feel like you would. Yeah, exactly. So you would have let Slides though. Okay.
He clearly left himself enough money. Like that was.
Yes. Okay. So replay. You're up.
Oh, I'm just saying though, if you saw Malala's scripts today, you would not bet 35. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
Sorry.
if you saw your scripts today, you would not be betting 34.
That's another fair point. That's another fair point. And now I think my team is not looking so good today. hopefully in 2 days we're looking good though. Okay, so this is just whoever I want the most. I have everyone's left, right?
I mean, assuming that you want them, you could theoretically be baiting us.
There's a little bit of game theory to it.
Yeah.
Oh. I will take, or I mean, I'll bid 1 for.
Drum roll.
Soju.
6.
$1 for Soju.
I bid 6.
Oh, I wanted by say I'm out.
Just 7.
No.
8, which is very thematic. Don't make me.
Dude, I kind of like Tleyds' team.
10.
$10 for Soju. Oh man. Let me check my Discord server messages. Like 30 seconds.
This guy's insider trading.
Oh, he hasn't said anything.
That's because he's so locked in. He can't even be distracted to go type.
10? Okay, you can have it for 10. I'm out.
Damn.
10?
I really like Tleyds'
Okay.
team. I really like Tleyds' team.
Wow,
He's playing
10.
Power World right now, man. I'm just letting you know.
That's fine.
Hey, that means he's already just so confident.
Yeah.
He doesn't even
I just checked real quick to see what he was doing.
That much.
If he was playing TFT, but this dude. Okay, let me see. Am I up next? I am up next. I'll pull up Spencer for $8.
I bid $6. But it's literally
It's just
you
it's
and
me and
Tleyds.
Tleyds. But
Yeah.
it's whether or not Tleyds wants Spencer.
For what?
$8.
$8.
I'm out.
Okay, Spencer for
Wow.
8. Okay.
Someone earlier said that I could get Spencer, and I was like, I'm never getting Spencer this draft. They're like, and I was like, there's no fucking way.
All right, Bryce, you're up next.
For $6. I think I bid $1 on Appies.
Ooh. That's a good one. That's a spicy one too. $1 on Appies. It's not about a monetary thing. It's about whether or not we want slots.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is like, it could be the same thing for like $20. It would be the same. I actually do agree a lot with your analysis of Appies this set, but I'm out. Tleyds?
I'm out.
Okay.
Nice.
Wow. That's actually a great move, Bryce. Assuming that Appies is as high, as good as we're rating him.
Being able to get Appies for $1 is a big part of my strategy.
Nice. Okay. Tleyds, you're up next.
Yeah, how much money do I have left? Well, I have a lot of
26.
All right. I'm going with JD for $1.
I also bid JD for $1.
You can't.
I tried.
Is down for me or Bryce? JD Zielinski. Okay, so JD Zielinski's been drafted exactly once in fantasy, and he went like almost dead last. I drafted him. I drafted him specifically. JD's also been crushing it on ladder. He was like fourth at one point. So we'll see. Bryce, do you want JD for $2?
Good.
So JD for $1, and then what Tleyds gets himself for 25. Is that what's going on right now?
I assume so.
Assuming he wants himself.
Maybe he's just not going to draft himself. We've had
I don't know. I can't tell if he wants himself. That's the whole point.
There was one person in the history of the show who just had no interest in taking themselves, I think.
No, I would just say historically, drafting yourself is a bad call. I'm down.
No, actually, it's actually worked out decently well.
Yeah, I wonder how it is like.
Actually, two people historically have drafted themselves and then won the tournament.
One, yeah. This replay guy is really big on anecdotal evidence,
and we've done this draft like 12 times or something like that. So it's like that's actually a pretty good hit rate, relatively speaking.
It might be 3 after this.
That's right, because Tleyds going to draft himself. I like that. I'm gonna let that slide. $1 for JD to Tleyds. Also, I like the narrative that Tleyds drafted his boy JD. I think that's a cool thing.
Agreed.
Okay. Replay. Who do you want for $1?
I'll take Tleyds for $1.
Nah, you're not getting me for $1. $2.
I bid $6.
Oh, but you actually should bid 25 Tleyds.
Well,
wait, why?
No, if you want yourself,
it doesn't matter.
You bid 7 because the money left over is like I beat you guys and I had money left over.
It's just like a style.
So you keep your money, you keep your style points for sure.
Yeah, no, I was just worried with Frodo having 25. You can do something.
All right, 7 for myself.
It's basically the same at that point. So I think we should let him have himself. That's just something we honor on the podcast.
No. You could bid up 24. He's gonna bid 25 on himself, Dan.
Yeah, but just let him do that. I think it's fun.
Let him have the money.
Let him have the money over. Okay, Tleyds, you can have yourself for $7.
You're giving this guy unnecessary trash talking rights over us, Dan. I don't like this, but okay.
I think it's fun. We don't have to min-max everything. Okay, so I have my pick right now, right? I get to pick whoever I want.
You get 2 picks, Dan.
I get 2 picks, but technically you could squeeze one over me. First one... What's up?
We'll just go. You're good.
Okay, the first person I'm going to go with is Toronto Tokyo.
Okay.
For $7. And then Bryce, you go. Because you have to...
Oh.
Because I theoretically might not want that person.
Okay. That's fair. I bid on Philip for $1.
Pass. And then I guess I get whoever I want.
You get whoever you want. Yeah. Wait, is it Replay's nomination?
Oh yes, Replay. Sorry, I forgot he had a daughter. Replay. Who do you want?
He's chat.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying. Oh shit, Pitsy's on the board too. Oh hell no.
Have you guys thought about adding another player to this?
We've talked about it.
We talked about it, but I
It's
think we
never,
like
it's never
where it
been
is.
worth it in the
Towards
past.
the end, I was like, oh wait, I can't even like pick these people anymore because I was
I will-
saving money.
What I will say is I think that's part of what makes it good. And eventually there'll be so many good players that it'll make sense to add. But right now, the end of the draft feels really good. There's like a lot of opportunity to kind of grab a value pick, and there's pressure on your budget.
Wait, Sox is not going to get drafted?
Well,
that's-
we'll find out.
All right, I'm gonna bid one for Cam.
Camby Lee. Oh, interesting.
Surely Cam won't let me down.
I'm out.
I'm out as well.
Okay.
I mean, that's interesting. I mean, he practices it with him, so he knows who's best. So
Makes
I think
sense.
that's interesting. Really
Dan, it's
interesting
good.
teams, actually.
It's your nom, Dan.
Okay, so there's actually like a pretty good value on the board across right now, which is really interesting. Oh, there's actually 3 players standing out to me right now.
Why don't you just talk about them out loud? You get to
Okay,
pick
that's true
anyone.
actually. Well, no, because then you might draft one of them if I lead you.
I mean,
on
yeah,
to it.
I guess theoretically you could influence me, but
Okay,
you're not gonna.
I think this
know.
player has performed very well and is overdue for a draft because he's never been drafted yet. I'm gonna go with Degree for $6. He's been performing very well in tournaments. I'm gonna go for Degree. I don't think he's ever been drafted before. At least not in terms of like with so many people on the board. I think maybe he's been drafted in a field of like 24 players, and we had to like draft or something like that. But okay, so Bryce, you have last pick, whatever you want.
Okay, I'm deciding between Casper and Sox, I think. I haven't really gotten to watch either of them play. How's Noster doing, actually? Wait a second. That's kind of a little bit too many.
Man, it'd be so tragic if this is the first time Sox is playing in like 6 months, and then we just like don't even draft him.
Noster in chat still? Noster, are you good right now?
Bryce, what's the number one mistake you make when you do these drafts? You take players what they say at face value.
There's certain players that are better or more reliable than others. I don't know.
He said
coin flip caught.
caught on middle of the road.
I'll take Sox
For $1.
Sox for $1.
Damn. That's interesting. Those are not the people I was looking at. I was looking at like DPay. I was looking at Pradarkis and Kyvix. I think those are players that people are not.
See, this is why I was saying you might as well talk out loud about it. 'Cause you really
fair
want
enough.
to
I didn't
influence
realize
that.
they weren't even on your radar. So
At the end of this, it's usually you have personal biases about stuff.
that is true. That is true. At this point, you just like who you've been kind of keeping an eye on. So
I'm sad that you valued Toronto because you didn't rank him, and so I thought that maybe you were gonna miss Toronto, and I was gonna get Toronto as one of my last picks, which I would have been.
no. That was a mistake I made last draft. Also, I think I did not expect the draft to kind of get as like kind of unwieldy points wise as it did in the very beginning. So like my value system got thrown out the window. So I feel like I had to. I think it was really interesting, like how this all played out.
My plan coming is that I thought there were 3 people who had like decisive edge, and the only reason I don't put Malal in that category is because I don't think he's invested in being at that level right now. But if I thought he was invested, then I think it would be 4 people who I would put in that tier. And I think there's so much value at the $1 level right now that like I was like, okay, if I think there's 3 people who actually have this much edge, I'm just going to make sure I get 2 out of 3 of them. And then I actually liked Soap slightly more than Setsuko, but I think that's a pretty close call. And if I could have chosen to get Setsuko for $6 for 46 instead of just for 51, I would have.
Man, it started off real hot though. That was crazy. I did not expect this to go over 50 this draft. I thought he was going to land somewhere in the mid 40s, like honestly, kind of how they usually do, like Setsuko, Weijin, like Setsuko around 45, 44.
I would have max bet him for what it's worth.
Like 50...
57?
Yeah, 50.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
Whatever it was.
I mean, it was, but I didn't want... I guess, like, I didn't know if you were going to do that.
Yeah.
And also, because if you called me out on that, I think I wanted to bet more on the midfield, as you kind of see where my value is.
Yeah, and this is what we were talking about with Tleyds, like strategies. I was like, I think there's a lot of based on basically it's where you think people are undervalued. That's where you like target your budget, and then the rest of your strategy almost fills in around that.
I'm pretty sure everyone has somebody on their team that is like undervalued significantly because of the way this planned out. But
yeah, of course, that always happens though. Like
but I'm saying like usually that's not. It planned out pretty early. I would say most people got undervalued stuff.
Tleyds, if instead of picking your boy with your second last pick, you would taken like Tokyo there, I think you would have the best. I think your team would be like really, really fucking good.
What do you got against JD?
I have nothing against JD.
Nothing.
I'm just
The only thing about JD
higher in that spot.
The only thing about JD is unproven. He's great on ladder.
Yeah. I haven't like watched him play. I'm not like trying to flame the guy. I'm just saying I think that like right now, based on the data that I have, I think that I would value Tokyo higher in the draft.
We have a data point of exactly one. Oh, sorry. I minimized the window. We have a data point of exactly one where we drafted JD and he almost went like dead last in the tournament. That's all we have as a data point.
All I'm saying is I'm pretty sure JD taught me 80 flex. So
he was one of the first people playing Zed. That was
so what you're saying is maybe the mistake is that you drafted yourself. Maybe I'm right about Tokyo, but wrong about
sure. Yeah.
Okay, Rereplay. What do you think about your team? Final comments on the draft.
Oh, I think my team might be a little stacked. I might have just played you guys.
Yeah. Okay, what was your opinion the best move in the draft you did?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like most of the people on my team I got accidentally. I was just trying to drive up the prices, but then I got them so cheap.
Except for yourself.
Like, I got them so cheap. It was unfair.
Okay, so you're happy with your team?
Yeah. Besides this camp pick, I'm not really sure about that one.
Okay.
Guy picks his friend and then flames his friend.
Wow.
I got persuaded by it.
All right. I mean, it's okay. $1. I mean, the $1 bets is often what makes or breaks your fantasy. That's what makes the craziest thing about all of it. It's like you can make all these like crazy like value propositions of like 30s and 20s and 40s, and then it's like the $1 that really like breaks your draft. Best draft went to Tleyds. I consistently score the lowest in this draft, but that's they were doing that. Why not was winning as well. So
I mean, Chad thought.
Wait, what'd you go last time, Frodo? I forget.
Mine, so
I went fourth last time, but that was the first time I did that in like 2 sets, so I was overdue. Okay.
He didn't forget. He definitely didn't forget.
Also, if I didn't tiebreaker out like I usually do, I have a terrible fantasy draft. If anything, people should be scared when I draft them because I consistently lose tiebreakers in fantasy, which means that if you're drafting my team, you might have bad tiebreakers going into the weekend.
For sure. Chad voted for Replay's team over mine, so you know Chad has no idea what they're talking about.
It's Rereplay on 16 accounts voting for himself.
That makes sense, actually.
I mean, if you want to see who here is Rereplay old in chat, you guys can answer that while we do some final thoughts and comments here. All right. Thanks for another great episode. This one really long, but I mean, we had a great time today. Thanks for everyone who hung out. Wow, even more than 16. That's crazy. Rereplay. Final words.
Thanks for having me on. It's always kind of fun. I think I've been on the show a few times, but I've never done the fantasy draft. I think the draft is like super fun, so I'm glad you guys do it. Yeah,
I could feel like you were just like trying to bid up everybody. You were like,
he was.
Yeah.
He's actually
in fact, most people check out when they're not bidding, like it's not a player they want. You were the opposite. You were like staring at it. You're like, that fucker bids another $1. I'm bidding up for sure.
Yeah, I would go as far as to say that Rereplay was the most fun rookie drafter that we played with so far.
Will you be the person who will say who on your team you didn't want? Who like it didn't seem like you wanted Robin.
Oh, like I wanted them all, but like how do I explain? Like you want them at the price.
Yeah.
But like you didn't go into it wanting them.
Yeah, exactly. You're happy to pay for that price, but you weren't anticipating drafting them on the team. Yeah, exactly. That's the cool thing about this specific style. Thank you so much, Rereplay. Good luck. That first pick for yourself for the battle is gonna be really interesting to watch. Tleyds.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. It's been fun. Looking forward to this weekend. Hopefully I can do good. So
awesome. That's right. Tleyds will be competing. Actually, I forgot to say, I keep doing this actually. I keep closing my after fantasy because we go over time. But just to show you guys, the main broadcast is going to be Admirable, Bulbasaurus, Crowan, Lemon Keely, and Necra. Necra's filling in. Someone couldn't make it, but she'll be casting as well and be tagging alongside Crowan. And if you guys also want to watch, me and Bryce will be hosting our own co-stream with Ramblin' and Goobums. That's going to be our official people that are headlining, so to speak, alongside with us.
Hog.
Well, Bryce is going to join us. I think he has like a football game or something to watch over the weekend or something.
The Super Bowl is on Sunday in the middle of this fucking tournament.
And so, okay, I mean, sure. I think
I'm going to skip the second half of the Super Bowl to watch the end of the tournament. Fuck it.
I mean, nothing important's happening. That's what
I have to go with my family for a little bit, but I don't have to say the whole thing. She has to go to bed anyway, right?
Yeah. All right. So that'll be happening with me, Bryce, Ramblin, and Goobums this weekend. And then also, we'll announce who's going to be doing the world team this weekend as well. Bryce, last final words.
I've been looking forward to this all weekend. I'm sad I didn't get to do, or all week. I'm sad I didn't get to do the show the first time you guys were on, but I'm glad I got to do this one. It was a lot of fun. So
that's right.
Thanks for letting me yap.
If you guys missed any part of this podcast, check out our stuff at youtube.com/@DTIYDK. We're starting to build up a decent amount of subscribers. If we can get to 1,000 subs, that is the goal for DTIYDK, the YouTube. We can start monetizing, and by monetizing, we can pay our editor Yenwei, who does good work, but he's not free. And I want to pay people for their time. And so if we can at least get DTI to net neutral in terms of cost, that's a great goal for 2024, just to stop burning money in me and Bryce's pocket. Because if we get extra funds, we get to do things like cool t-shirts, sponsor players, and then the tournaments, things like that. That's what we're going to do. We're not profiting anything of ourselves. So please go sub to our YouTube, support Yenwei, #feed Yenwei. And that's my last words. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time for more TFT action. Peace.